Hello, and greetings to you, my wonderful and brave citizens of our new world. I, Toronto's greatest supervillain and evil genius, Dr. Terwat, and today, though, we are playing another game of D&D 5th Edition on the continent of Emerald. Woo! Woo! Yeah! That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we are playing ourselves another game of the Chronicles of Automathon. We are joined, of course, by our wonderful crew that we have here so far today. So let's run down the line. We've got ourselves Steve the Sergios playing as Leshen.
The Edge.
Hooray!
He's here.
We've got ourselves Articulate T playing as Martis.
The beef.
The beef. We have ourselves the Jew with the Soul Patch playing as Gowl Embrace.
Hashtag scary grandpa turtle.
Hashtag, get in the comments. Get in the comments. Hashtag scary grandpa. And we have,
trending.
Of course, we have ourselves Sasself playing as Ophelia.
The strangely sexy squid lady.
Woo!
You're a kid now. You're a squid now. You're a kid. You're a squid. You're a kid. You're a squid.
Okay, Steve, I'm gonna have to ask you to take like 5 to 10% off for over there.
Is it a kid or a squid, Nintendo?
All right, and Rob has cheered us
Anyway.
200 bits. Bits for the evil D&D.
Woo.
Hooray! Thank you.
Where's the money
Thank you,
about?
Rob.
Thank you, Rob, for cheering us. You got yourself on the board as our bronze medalist. Right now, Claire is in at 1,200 bits, our gold medalist, and gets to choose a prize for next week from a list of things that we've got. And hello to all of you in the chat. We've got ourselves all the usual people here. We're just going to run down the list real quick. We got Rob Hagen, Lillian Warpath. We got Rainer in here. We got Willow Gray, and by extension, Kel Gray. We got the Pun Wizard, Rainer, Volsar, Planthier, Pun Wizard, Skulldugger, and all the usual people. Hello, hello. Gosh, it is just so wonderful to see you all. Now, when we last left our intrepid heroes, we were down in the Autometh proper, and just like that, this window has failed.
No.
Come now, you can do it, you fucking thing. There you are. Rejoin as player. Do as I command. Alright. Criminy. Sorry about that. Alright, so.
Are you okay over there?
For the most part, yes, it's just, we're gonna
there we
go
go.
like this.
There
Oh.
we are.
Oh, lovely.
Haha.
Yeah. Background music, fuckers.
Oh, and what's this? We've got ourselves another set of bits. Rob's bringing
You
himself
feel
to
that?
500.
You feel that? You feel that in the air?
Very granddad turtle and sass squid. Oh yeah.
You feel that? That's ambiance right there. Ah.
Nah. All right, now, real quick before we get going though, Sass, I want you to turn your mic up a bit more if you can.
Okay.
You're clocking in just a little quieter than everybody else.
Okay, give me a minute.
Yep.
Sorry, guys.
And we got $5 more coming in from Noir. Thank you for our.
Thank you, Noir.
Yeah, we've got 40 out of $100 now to sing "Part of Your World" at the end of the stream.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's right. But we're gonna sing like an evil wizard version of it.
Oh
That's
no.
gonna be unsettling.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh. Oh.
Okay, so we're gonna try this now. Now the quality might have gone down a little bit, but how are we doing?
I can hear you better. There's just like that bit of white noise behind you. Remind me the next time that you're over to just give you my mic that I've got. I've got a spare microphone here. Well, I'm just gonna give that to you so you don't have to worry about that anymore. Anyways,
Okay.
so we were right on over here at an orc village. I'm gonna do that one more time. I'm just gonna see if that pops up on the other. It does not. So cool.
Get with me.
Bing.
Yeah, there you go. Bing. So it
Rainer
shows up for you.
mentions.
It does
What's
not
up?
show up for me. Oh, because I'm currently in as a player, so
Yes.
that's what's
It's
gonna
here?
it's gonna be.
Rainer is currently asking that if we
Mhm.
if we hit the goal tonight, does the entire party have to join along singing?
No,
Jesus.
you guys are exempt from having to.
Because
join
I
along
have
with
to
the singing.
sleep, fuckers.
So, there that is.
Went this way, went this way. Ended up here.
That's right.
And we went through up here. And now we're about
Yeah.
here.
Yes, we're about there.
Yeah.
That's right. So, as you were entering the town, this orcish tribe here that was over here, once formerly known as the Blood Drinker clan. This has now been changed to a slightly different group. They still carry that name, but obviously they don't carry the previous savagery that their tribe once had. And that seems to has caused some contention amongst their people. As there is both an orc warrior, looks like
He's
so,
very small.
a
There,
very angry looking fellow, look like so. He is currently locked in an argument with the chieftain of the clan, an older though much more visually imposing orc, some may know.
Some may know
Rock
as
star.
insert World of Warcraft character. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a very tall, very wide orc, very large tusks, a bit larger than the younger alpha that seems to be challenging him. He's got the white war paint on his face, the long gray hair done into braids, and he wears the simple leather armor. And when we last saw them, they were locked in a very heated argument. Now behind the alpha is, I would say, about 4 other orcs that seem to have joined his cause. And then behind them is a few wooden crates that they have placed slaves into from the small clan of birdfolk that they attacked in the woods just last night. Now, the younger of the two speaks up. He's yelling at the chieftain, saying, "We used to be once a proud, noble people who showed our strength to all around us. We took what we needed. We earned our place in this world." And the chieftain just shakes his head slowly as he's sort of being berated and challenged and yelled at by the younger. He goes, "That is not our way anymore." And he goes, and the younger of the two speaks up again and says, "You could have stopped me when I took these men and left last night. You could have killed me and kept the peace." The chieftain leans in closely. "Could kill you now." And then as you all walk up, and of course, Ophelia, the young mind flayer of the group, walking in the front, has cast a spell to change her appearance. She's used disguise self to make herself look like an orcish woman. And she currently walks in front of the group as you enter the town. And the younger orc turns to the rest of you and says, "And who is this then? Who are you to enter our territory?"
You dare disrupt the peace. What the Black King has allowed you here by doing unsanctioned raids on the tribes around you?
He sniffs the air a bit around, not necessarily looking for anything, but almost as a form of posturing. He goes, "And where, I wonder, is this Black King? As we have entered, none have seen him. All follow his laws in this cave."
You have seen the Graveguard. Have you not?
"I have seen fancy bones walk about in brittle armor, not yet having their metal tested."
There are certainly ways for you to see the king. You just perhaps may not like the outcome.
The chieftain kind of shakes his head a bit and goes, "None have been able to see the king in some time. Some of us have gone to ask, and our requests have fallen upon deaf ears."
It is not that kind of seeing I was alluding to.
The elder nods slowly. If we think that any of our actions gone unnoticed by the king, then we are fools. He turns to the younger. He goes, look there. You have stolen these people from their village. You have attacked them and taken their supplies, and now we have strangers at our door. You bring this evil upon us. The younger man scoffs and laughs at the sky. Fake though it may be. He goes, let them bring their people. Let our actions bring challengers more.
Challengers you seek. Is that it?
If there is no way for us to test our strength, then we will find a way.
Ophelia extends her arm, pointing to the right through the woods. Have you not visited the arena? Its entire purpose here.
The elder nods and he goes, yes, there is an arena here, but it has stood empty for many years.
And whose choice is that?
They kind of like, and like scratch their chin a bit. As you know, the arena that's there hasn't been in use, but it's sort of no one's gone to use it, and because no one's gone to use it, no one comes to watch, and because no one comes to watch, no one goes to use it. It's sort of just kind of there, and has not fallen in use. The orc then sort of the younger of the bunch tilts his head and says, would you challenge me formally?
I am here as a messenger. Perhaps my compatriots here. And she just kind of steps to the side and gestures to the array of creatures.
Oh, yes.
Who she's
Oh, yes. If no one else does, Leshen steps forward.
Oh, yeah. The alpha walks up to the group of you as you stand, and he sort of regards each of you at about 5 or 10 feet away, kind of walking around in a semicircle sort of in the front of you, looking each of you up and down. When looking at Leshen, he kind of sniffs the air again around him and narrows his eyes in suspicion. He looks past some of the others that are standing there, the Dragonborn and the Banshee. His eyes fall on Martis. And he looks up to get a cleaner look at his face, and he goes, I like this one. I'd like to fight this one if he'd fight me back.
Martis takes a while to respond. Like he's kind of fallen stock still. And he kind of very slowly turns to the others as if awaiting any kind of advice or confirmation. Like
Gowl takes his cane and like kind of like taps him in the back of like the hamstring. Kind of goes like, "Speak, boy."
He then feels all the eyes on him, and his shoulders slump slightly. And he says, what terms?
Seeing Martis's uncomfortableness and kind of getting an idea of what he's trying to get, Ophelia addresses the Alpha again. Just, you've never specified what your intentions are with these raids, with these attempts at slaves, while under the King's protection. State what it is you are looking for.
He turns to face you again, and he walks up. He gets a bit close to you, though not like right in your face, and he goes, our intentions are to show our strength, to prove again what our people were meant to be. Raiders, takers, slavers, strength born and bred. Blood drinkers, as he looks to the chieftain. But if you have a way to prove the strength of this kingdom, to our tribe, I will give you this. Our men, and he points to the orcs that were following him, versus yours, tiny orc. And he points at you, Ophelia.
How tall is this fellow?
He's standing somewhere between 7 and 8 feet tall.
Big fella. Big orc.
He is a big fucking dude.
To remind everyone, Ophelia is standing at 5'2". This guy's just, she is a tiny orc.
Yeah, he is a full head and shoulders above you.
Oh, yes.
Gal
got
begins
like
clacking his beak.
He's got an ugly looking axe in his left hand, as you can see, and what seems to be some sort of cudgel in his right hand.
Well then, I suppose you can drink your blood in a jail cell as far as I'm concerned.
He leans in a bit closer to Ophelia and he goes, "Sunset in the arena."
She turns and people behind her to kind of assess what it is everyone's feeling.
It's like, eh?
Lasham's like, yeah, let's do this.
He's ready to mosh.
It's literally exactly the same as he was standing before, except his hand is like gunslinger drawing on the whip, like ready to go.
Yeah. Just looks
Gal's
at
staring
Martin
down.
to try and get an idea.
Mardis definitely like his body language hasn't really changed since seeing him at the Southern Gate this morning, in that he's clearly not comfortable, but as you kind of look at him, he kind of gives a very slow, hesitant nod, as if like if it's something that has to be done, then he will do it. But yeah.
Gal?
Gowl is intently, with both hands, leaning on his cane, just staring the alpha down with. It's not so much a smile. He has this very intense stare that he just keeps giving him. He looks what could be considered pleased.
Okay.
So this is the outcome that I was looking for.
And looking over at Xyxes and our Dragonborn. Guess I forgot her name.
The two of them that are over there, both the Banshee and the Dragonborn, appear to hesitantly nod at this. Like they're like this seems like the best course of action. If he can't be talked down, maybe it would be a good idea to get in there and mix it up in an organized and safe fashion.
The Alpha. And he can kind of get a sense that there's almost a small breeze coming between the two of them.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Like, but not quite. Like, you can't see anything different, but there's something going on right there.
Okay.
And, just kind of determined look on her face and nods and goes, "It's what you will. We as the king's representatives shall meet there."
He smiles a big toothy grin, and he goes, "What's your name?"
Sorry, can you repeat that?
He asks your name. Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yep.
Okay. He asks what your name is.
Yeah, Ophelia.
Okay. He sort of cocks
can you
his
hear me?
head a little
Yep.
bit. Now
Yeah,
we can
can
hear
hear
you, yeah. He cocks his head a little bit and he squints and he goes, "Weird name for an orc. I'll meet you in the arena at sundown.
Themselves.
Tell your leaders that they may bring people to watch. If you win, I will let these slaves go and submit to your king. If I win, we continue to do as we please." The elder shakes his head and looks up at the sky in a very what a fucking idiot kind of way.
Gowl inclines his head and goes, "I would have your name, orc." And just looks at the alpha.
Oh ho ho, devilish laugh. The orc smiles and turns. Garmok Blooddrinker. That's a GARHMOK.
F is okay.
He turns to Marvis and is like, well, we have something for the paperwork now.
It's just like, well, I guess I'll put it in.
Garmok Blooddrinker.
Yeah, Garmok Blooddrinker, and he walks back over to where the wood cages with the small frightened bird people are being held, and the rest of the men that have joined him are, and he sits triumphantly on a large stump and talks amongst those people. The chief walks over to you guys and speaks to you in a lower voice so that he may talk to you just on a personal basis without him overhearing.
On the DL.
Yeah, on the down low. He pulls you guys aside. He goes, "This might be for the best. If you can beat him in ritual combat in the arena, it might break this defiant streak in him. Get him back in line."
Is it just one-on-one combat, or is it, are there any specifics to... I'm sorry, I'm not terribly well-versed in your culture. I want to make sure we're doing this correctly.
It would be him and his men versus you and yours.
Equal numbers.
Equal numbers. He nods.
And we've nothing to fear.
Now, on an out-of-game level, though, I'm going to be having him and his men fight you guys, just our active players. We've got two other people that are not able to be with us here today. That would be J-Nerd and Cassie D20 Love Chew. They are not present for this game as they've got prior engagements, which is totally fine. So they will be, in effect, their characters are present and are interacting when possible. During combat, they are considered to be there and helping out, but we're just not going to be mechanically rolling for them or having them do anything. So it's like they were there, but yeah.
Two of them fought two of theirs.
Exactly.
Done.
Yeah. So it'll be him and three of his men versus the four of you.
Cool.
May I have your name so we may report to the king?
I am the chief of this tribe. I am Dregar.
Bring your people as well, so that his defeat may be known amongst the tribes here.
He smiles and chuckles lightly to himself. He goes, "Oh, we will." I'm gonna send some scouts out to see how many other people we can bring to the arena. Hopefully, if you, under the strength of the king, if you manage to beat him, then it will be known to all in the woods that he is weak and a coward. That should suffice to be punishment enough. Yes. He turns to you. Gowl.
Chieftain, you speak of ritual combat. What exactly would be considered an affront to this style of assault?
Well, he sort of squints and scratches his chin for a minute. Well, you just fight each other. I mean, once upon a time, we didn't allow magic, but then, our shamans wanted to get involved in fighting people that didn't involve swinging big sticks around, so now here we are.
No holds barred.
He smiles and nods at Leshen. That's right, son. No holds barred.
Oh, there will be holds. Oh, there will be holds.
And he turns and sort of just starts hobbling back towards the trees and kind of gives a nod to the chieftain respectively and kind of just walks to the back of everyone.
He nods back. And then he says, best go tell your king what's going on. Keep everybody up to date, and we'll see you at sundown.
Oh,
You must understand, though, one thing.
Hmm.
If your man does not abide by his rules, then King's Law will be in effect, and I will have to take him into custody.
He nods and goes, "Oh, I'm aware. The boy doesn't understand exactly the scale of things, but Let's hope this is a teachable day and not much more.
I can assure you the example will be set.
Good. We'll see you then. He
Tip of the
turns
hat.
back.
Hands and leaves.
He nods to you guys and turns back to his people and sort of corrals some of the other orcs that were standing in an audience fashion, sort of scatters them and shoos them away so they get back to tanning hides and making food and doing all their orc things. Hashtag just orc stuff.
Is Steve being an unfair advantage? No.
No.
Whoops.
So yeah, you guys head on out of the town. You have now, from the earlier half of the day, just before noon, now until sunset. What do you guys do?
Well, we do need to go back and kind of report. Okay, hold on a second. He wants an audience. Okay, so as we walk away from the town, Ophelia lets the disguise drop. And, like, pulls her hood back up and, like, reattaches her veil.
Nice.
Just, people don't like how she looks. He wants an audience. He wants to show his strength. I have no issue with this.
We'll set an example for anyone else who wishes to disobey the king.
Agreed.
And perhaps a way for him to have a show of strength. That's not anything that is against the rules here.
Some people are like, the orc chief seems to have a vindictive streak. Like, well, yeah, he's an orc.
It's kind of they have the genetic predisposition for fuck ass mad.
Fuck ass mad. My favorite.
So Ophelia would recommend that we go back to the town and try and find a way to kind of rally some audience.
Oh, I'll go to the taverns.
Do you guys head back to the Black City?
Yeah. One of us, assumedly one of the watch members, so either me or Mardus, has to go and report to one of the officials, probably Benjamin, if we can find him.
Mardus
Oh,
will volunteer to
Benji.
find Benjamin.
Good old Benji.
So Mardus will do that.
let me see
I
what-
was thinking
what is big-
Leshen does that because then Mardus can go get goblins to come watch.
I was kind of thinking the same thing.
Okay.
You can have your boys watch old Big Stompers live up to his name and curb some fuckers.
Gowl says that he will. Gowl kind of points off to the east, and he's like,
I will go find the Great Root. Perhaps some of them would like to watch this orc attempt something so foolish. I
Was that
will
a
meet you
la-
back
was
at the
that a-
arena.
Was that a laugh? Oh.
Before he starts walking away, then stops and kind of looks back, and he goes,
Ophelia, I have a plan, if you'd be willing to hear it.
She just kind of nods and starts walking off with Gal.
There is a spell I can perform that will make this both interesting and humiliating for us fools. A good starting point, perhaps. If you would wish, I could open up this fight with that, and you will know it when you see it. The rest will be up to the others. It will significantly make it easier for you to overpower this, what was it? Garmok blood drink.
But are we sure we wish to humiliate?
I am.
Are you sure we wish to humiliate? Yes.
Ophelia seems a little kind of like shaken and more reserved after all of that. Because it's just like, oh, that was a lot.
Woof.
Staring down big dick orc boy over there.
It is
So-
up to you, but it will make things significantly simpler. Those
Why is
that
it
wish
up to
go.
me?
Well, you seem to have taken point on our little negotiation, we'll call it, transforming into that orc.
I felt he wouldn't have dealt well with some of the rest of them.
Wisely done.
Martis and Leshen walking back to the city. Shoot.
Actually, all right. So, Gowl, you head off to your tribe.
I head off to the Great Root tribe to see if I can gather, to see if I can convince some of the Tortles to come watch in the arena.
Okay, so that is that village off to the east end next to that
That is
pool.
the village right here.
Wait for
Right.
it. Give it. Hold. Click and hold. Dang. There it is. All right. Sweet. So that's that village there. I'm gonna because we split the party. Leshen and Martis, you've headed into the Black City. Gal's headed over to the tribe. Ophelia, did you head back to the Black City with Leshen and Martis?
Yes.
Okay. So Gowl, I'll run you a little scene at your village just as soon as I'm done with the other three.
Of course. right ahead.
Leshen, Martis, Ophelia, you guys walk up to the gates of the Black City, and wouldn't you know, you see yourselves a familiar fellow standing at the front of the gates. Why wouldn't you look at that? It's your boy!
It's a boy!
Scatter boy!
Bone Daddy.
It's
Bone Daddy!
Bone Daddy. No, not that.
Not that Bone Daddy. No.
It is your good friend, Benjamin.
Don't
Benjamin
lie.
Hyde, one of the appointed folks of the king, and one of the NPCs created by our lovely subscribers that we have.
Yeah.
So Benjamin Hyde is standing there, sort of kneeling on, sort of like holding like a nice cane in front of himself. Oh, Anonymous Artemis, thank you for hosting us with one additional person. Thank you so much. So he's waiting there at the gates of the Black City as you're coming up, and he smiles as much as a skeleton can, and he waves at you politely as you come up, and he goes, "So, how did it go?"
We have been challenged to an honor duel.
He stands still and regards you for a second. He goes, "Oh, good. Well,
Did you expect us to kill citizens of the city?
not at all. No, well, I mean, not unless it came to that, of course. But,
I was thinking you were shocked at us suspecting and able to actually get the political discourse correct with orcs.
he chuckles lightly to himself. He's like, well, truthfully, I didn't know how it would play out. I was more curious to see how you would manage this. But if you've managed to get them into a formal duel, I would imagine this was going to take place at the arena. Is that correct?
That is.
Oh, wonderful! And he claps his little bone hands together, clack, clack, clack. And he goes, good. Yes, well, that should... Then I'll report this information to the king, as you may want to spread word around the city, and at whatever appointed time it is that you've decided to have your duel, then we can have an audience there and settle this matter publicly in a way that I hope will deter future folk from doing the same.
We need a big audience. As many as we can.
And I'm sure a big audience we will be able to find. If you want to head to Gray's and find out whatever is going on, and then I'll head over and take care of what I can with the king. And he sort of...
Benjamin, might I ask something of you?
Yes, of course.
Would perhaps my sister be allowed to attend?
He sort of inclines his head a little bit. With supervision.
Of course.
Of course, then. I see no problems.
She just kind of nods her head in thanks and kind of stays quiet and stays back.
Wonderful. I'll relay what I can to the king, and see you there. And he sort of tips his little hat, and he trots off into the streets of the Black City as quickly as his little...
He bones away.
And he bones away. Off he gets. So, what do you three get up to in the city leading to sunset?
I'm gonna go to Gray's and try and get the pub folk to come and watch.
I'm going to talk to Fibsh and see if I can get the goblins to come along.
Fuck yeah, you are.
Oh, Fibs.
Ophelia doesn't really know what to do at this point. She might just kind of trail after Leshen and like sit in the back corner of Grace. Out of the way.
Okay, so the two of you head to Gray's and find your way into where all of the others sort of like have gathered. There seems to be like a medium crowd there, and as you come in, Keldaka, obviously still behind the counter at the tavern, chopping away at some large meat, making some manner of stew as per usual. And Willow, his wife, is trudging around in the front as barmaid, serving drinks and food to whoever come in. As you come in, she waves at you and goes, "Oh, hello! Welcome, come in! Find a table."
Shan't be too long. We've come here to release some news.
Oh?
You've been on a recent political excursion out to the Blood Drinkers Road. The orcs causing a ruckus recently.
She goes, "Orcs causing a ruckus? Say it ain't so."
Heaven forbid. And we've managed to come to some formal agreement, and Leshen takes one of the tankards on the bar top, and gives a big old clacks it down.
Oh, that gets the attention of most of the other monsters that are sitting in the tavern. They all kind of stop their conversation in food and look over.
And
Many of them
Leshen
more
says
than a
anything
little
else-
uncomfortable.
Before Leshen says anything else, Ophelia takes 6 large steps to the side and goes to stand in a corner.
Yeah, that's a wise idea.
Folks have been eyeing you since you came in, sort of
Oh,
uncomfortable.
of course.
Yeah.
And I'm just
Yeah.
like,
We have. I was like, that's a mind flayer, and that is.
No,
Whatever.
Hood is very down. Hood is very, very down.
That's a mysterious looking lady, and that's a guy that I don't want to talk to because I'm going to.
One of the town's wardens, and this person have entered the bar. So folks are a little uncomfortable.
So after clacking it down and get everyone's attention, Leshen turns and regards the swathe of people, and is like, "Do you wish for some actual quality entertainment?"
That immediately diffuses a lot of the tension in the room.
Yep.
Some of the trolls and ogres and other orcs that have sort of gathered there, a mixture of other monsters and creatures, all kind of go, "Arr!" And like at first there's like a few of them that are like, yeah, like a little unsure, but they're like, yeah, roar, roar, and they hoist their tankards up.
Leshen, with the crowd enamored, does the whole 1 foot up on a bar stool and pops his hat up just enough to see everyone, points to the door of Gray's, and says, "The arena at sundown, the blood drinkers stake their pride against the Black King's men."
There is a moment of silence that falls over the entire room before one of the orcs in the room goes, "Nice!" And everyone goes, "Yeah!" And they're all cheering, and you hear one of the other orcs go, "Man, I haven't seen an honor duel in forever." And they're all fucking waving their arms around, happy as shit.
Leshen's like, won't bring, like, the hands, like, bringing it up, and it's like, "Gather everyone you know."
Oh man, so there's a lot of cheering. Everybody's really excited. So they're all very about this. Definitely on board. So yeah, there's a rousing conversation, and everybody's like yeah, this is gonna be great. So they're like all fucking gobbling up their food and finishing their drinks and everything. Like, okay, we're gonna go home. We gotta make some flags. And we gotta get down there. We gotta make sure we're there we gotta get early. We don't want to lose our seats. And everybody's like, "Oh, yeah." And so like some of the orcs are the first to slam some coin on the table and get up and trudge out the door and whatnot. And Keldaka's just like, "Hey, those are my customers. Fuck."
Imagine how many.
Okay.
And imagine how many you're going to bring in when we come back victorious.
No, Ophelia just kind of like leans across the bar and just leans over at him and says, "Nothing says you can't sell at the arena."
You see like a light turn on in his head almost as his eyes are just like, Oh, I like that.
Oh, fuck.
like- Oh, he looks over. Wife, how fast can you build a cart? She's like, you don't have to. I could buy a cart. And he's like, right, yeah. How fast can you buy a cart?
My God.
Okay, wait. Here's an important question. Is there a pot with a baby in it nearby?
Oh, absolutely.
Where is it?
Baby Gray is in a pot that is just off the stove. As it looks threatening that at any point in time Kaldaka could just boil that child, but is sort of choosing not to, sort of like at the edge of murdering his kid at any given moment, but it's just sitting there happily sitting in the pot. It's got a big wood spoon. It's looking at him very threateningly.
While the stone trolls are loudly yelling at each other about a cart, getting very distracted about carts, Ophelia just kind of like leans forward, like looks at the baby, and then potentially her veil just lifts out of the way, and a few little tentacles just kind of like wave at it.
Oh, how close are you to that baby?
Not in a threatening way. I'm probably like 5 feet away.
You know what happens when babies
There's a
come?
bar between me and the baby.
Okay, so
There's a bar and a space and a stove and then the pot.
the baby. Okay, so you're not within grappling range. Yeah.
Baby would
Not at
yank
all.
them
It's
tentacles out that
it's a
way.
baby and it's sort of a
Jesus.
new thing.
I was gonna say, like, so the baby does not grab your fucking tentacles
No!
and start cheering, because that's what a child would do. No, the baby like drops its wooden spoon into the sink that's next to it and reaches out at you and smiles and coos, as it seems very thrilled about the danglies that it wants to play with hanging off your face.
And they just kind of like retract and hide under the
It claps and laughs at you.
So crowd sufficiently riled up, Leshen is gonna tuxedo mask away. my work here is done.
But you didn't do anything.
Whoosh. Yeah. So everybody's really excited. People slapping coin on the tables, finishing up their meals, and getting out to get ready for the big event. And Kaldaka and Willow, the two trolls that run Grays, are sort of like badgering back and forth with each other on how fast they can find and buy a cart, who sells carts, when the last time they saw a cart was, and like what they're going to sell at said cart at the arena.
Drink. Just a lot of booze.
Lot of ale. So they're fully busy. Is there anything else that you two get up to specifically before heading back to the arena?
Not me.
I am going to do some good old scare tactics, and I'm going to stand on the Black King's side of the arena and just stare at the other side's gate.
All right. So, when you get to the arena, I'll explain though. You guys are brought into the west side, or rather the east side. Sorry. So you're brought into the arena on the east side, and yeah, you guys are in like sort of a chamber that's just under that has a gate that leads into the center of the arena area.
Proper gladiator shit. Yeah.
Exactly.
Boy.
There is another gate on the other side with another chamber for the challenging contenders. You guys can't quite see the people that are over there, but you can see movement on the other side. So that is where you guys head. Martis, while you are in the Black City, what do you get up to?
Mardis goes straight to the Goblin District place and sees if he can find any goblin. Fibs preferably, but any goblin will do at this point.
Yeah. It's not long as you enter into the Goblin complex that's a part of the Black City, which is sort of like stacked up buildings, almost slums, but they're definitely in better shape. And a lot of the folks that are there are content, more or less. As you enter in, a lot of the goblins, they recognize you, they wave happily, dance around your hooves occasionally, before continuing along their way as they're happy little folk. And you eventually do find Fibs, who is playing what appears to be some kind of mixture of checkers and chess, where the rules are being made up as they go along. It is some random game, and as you come along...
You're playing 2D chess. I'm playing 3D chess. I'm playing checkers. I don't know what we're playing.
I don't know what we're playing. Yeah, and he's sort of in like a loud conversation with the guy across from him. The both of them sort of like making up rules and reminding each other of the rules they've just made up as they've been going along playing this ridiculous game of mishmash board stuff.
That's the game. Mishmash board
As
stuff.
as you're walking up, yeah, it's a game called Mishmash. And as you walk up, the Fibge, the goblin, looks up to you, and yeah, Kara says Cheskers.
Cheskers.
It's Cheskers. But they call it Mishmash, and so Fibge sees you as you're walking up, and he puts his hands in the air and he goes, "Ah, Martis! Oh, so good to see you!" And he sort of trots over to your feet, and he puts his hands up, sort of in grabby action.
Yeah.
Wow,
Miles will take a knee so that he can do his thing.
He does what he usually does, which is sort of like grab and then swing on one of your horns up and back and forth. And he goes, "What's going on, big fella? Why are you back in town so soon?"
Oh, I'm not here for very long. There's something going on at the arena, and there's a honor duel between myself and my new companions and some orcs of the Blood Drinker tribe.
His expression grows serious as you mention them. He goes, "Oh, those are bad folk, I'm told. Scary people."
Yeah, I'm not exactly looking forward to it, but it's part of my job now, and all I'm here to really do at this point is to let you know what's going on, and an audience is meant to be expected, so if you and the other goblins would like to come and have a look, then you're more than welcome to.
Want us to come and cheer you on, big buddy?
Sure, I think I might need that.
And he smiles, and he goes, "They're just a bunch of silly orcs, though. Your biggest friend. You smushed them good." And he swings back and forth on your horn.
Yeah. Martis doesn't really respond to it other than having like a small smile. He says, "Have you spoken to Goober recently? Is it Goober?"
"Yeah, Goober."
Yeah, he's a merchant, isn't he?
It's like 20 goobers.
That's right, yeah, Goober runs like a small shop in the nearby area for just like basic adventuring goods. Nothing too crazy, but he's got this and that kind of knickknacks.
Okay, well, see if he'd like to maybe sell something to the audience. I mean, he'll have plenty of people to kind of see if they want to buy his wares or anything. But yeah, other than that, that's all I've come here to let you know, is that that's happening. I should probably head to the arena, get some practice in.
"Oh, okay, big buddy. I'll let him know. See if he's got anything he can sell at the arena. You take care, though, okay? I'm sure you'll be fine." And he hops down off of the horn, and the other goblin who was playing Mishmash with him, though, suddenly just turns the board over and all the parts fall on the ground. He goes, "You fucker!" And he starts like so shoving. A little shoving match breaks out between the two of them, but then they scamper off almost immediately to go grab things and tell people stuff.
He kind of smiles at that display as he stands up, like some of the tension kind of unwinding in his stomach, but then he kind of like turns and looks back to the way he came, and contemplates something for a brief moment before he shakes his head and then promptly makes his way back to the arena.
As you're heading out of the goblin complex, you can hear in the distance some of the goblins shouting back and forth between each other about the upcoming match. You go, "Biggest friend's gonna fight some fucking orcs, buddy!" Woo-hoo-hoo! And they're fucking, "Yeah, it's gonna be today, it's something," and they're running around and getting everybody in a good tussle, and you see a bunch of them running off, and everybody seems to be very excited all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So yeah, you make your way back. So Soul Patch, Gowl Umbrace makes his way to his village over on the east end of the massive cavern that takes up Autometh.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Nice. So Gowl is gonna try. He's gonna head into the main encampment of the Great Root. Which he doesn't usually do. He usually skirts the outside to go to his tent at the edge, but he goes through the main part of town. He's trying to keep an eye out for Chieftain Kulak, but he's just sort of walking along, and he attempts to find the chieftain, and
Kulak.
see if he is around.
The Turtle Chief, Kulak. Boop.
Yeah, he is.
Way.
That's right. He's a fantastically old Turtle Chief. Every time you see him, you fear it may be the last time you see him. He's so old.
Whoa!
No. But he is quite old, and he's gathered with a few of the other turtle that are in the center of town. And as you walk directly into the center of town, he turns and he smiles, and he has this sort of like shaky jaw as he talks, and he goes, "Oh, Gowl, it's so nice to see you again. How are you all doing? Have a good first day?"
Good is a stretch of a term, chieftain.
Oh, what's happened, old friend?
I bear news from the western corners of the cavern. The Blood Drinker clan see fit to have upstarts within their ranks. They have challenged us to a duel. The winner will have their will imparted upon the loser, and so, for the glory of the Black King, we must succeed. I'm here to see if
Perhaps, and he kind of just glances left and right at any of the other turtles that are around.
So some of them are nervous at your presence, but yeah.
if anyone else would wish to join us at sunset in the arena to watch.
The chieftain smiles. Kulak smiles, that old turtle smile. And he goes, you know, I was a little surprised because I'd only just heard of these raids this morning. And it seems on your first day, you've already picked a fight. He chuckles a bit. But
Orcs.
this...
Kulak. Orcs.
That's true. When you're dealing with orcs, you don't necessarily pick a fight with them as much as they pick a fight with you. And he smiles and he says, our people will be there to show you support. You will have us to give you all the love and appreciation that a member of our tribe is offered.
He doesn't roll his eyes, but he sort of just kind of like looks off the side a moment and just kind of grips the cane tighter and goes,
Yes, I'm sure, chieftain. I am only here to rest a while before I have to deal with more people.
and just, like his eyebrow just twitches and his like beak clacks a bit and he goes,
I will make this quick so that I can go about the king's true intentions, not this farce of a duel. I will make sure these orcs suffer enough to never question his will again.
Kulak places a hand on your shoulder as you're standing there in a very like mentor kind of way.
Chill out, Sonny.
You gotta go smoke some reefer, friend. No.
I honestly would expect him to say that.
20% off, though.
I need you
About 10 to 12% back there, Turtley Dan.
just I need you to calm down a little. No, he comes over and he places a hand on your shoulder and goes, rest as long as you need. Commune with nature as you have, and we will be there to support you when you are ready.
And in Aquan, he kind of looks at him and he goes,
I will call upon the thorns, and I will let the trees show them what no holds barred means.
and he kind of just politely shrugs off his hand, gives him a quick, like, pat on the left shoulder, and hobbles off towards his tent.
He smiles as you pat him. This is another thing that happens normally. So
this is not strange.
this is different and fun. So you give him a pat and you scoot off on your way, and he smiles and nods and trots back towards some of the other people. You hear sort of hushed conversation as he sort of relays what's going on to everybody, and if you look, you see a lot of the people move from discomfort to like almost confusion. Because there was this guy that made everyone deeply uncomfortable that's now doing this really important thing, and everyone kind of like, oh, huh. Well,
Can I do one
okay.
quick thing?
Yeah, what's up?
So before, just for your sake, before Gowl goes back to his tent, he kind of makes a beeline more towards a here type thing, where the forest, as you are aware, is very strange in that portion. It's a little not like scorched or anything, because it's not. Actually, better question: did when the turtles were brought here, was it just them, or was it a portion of their swamp, or was it just this is where they got put?
This was, in effect, when they were invited to come into Autometh, they were told that there was a portion of the cavern where some of the trees had spread out a little bit, and there was a large lake that was there full of clean, fresh water that you guys could build a tribe on. So you guys have sort of like rebuilt your home in this area.
So he goes there, and it's the trees. The trees there are a bit more,
A little more spaced out.
They're almost spaced out, and they're a little bit more visibly damaged. But it looks like someone has damaged them. Like they're kind of blackened on a couple of the sides, and the ground around there is more dirt than it is, a fertile ground. It's more like dust and dirt. And he sort of stands there for a moment, and he places his cane like in the center of this like little small clearing, and he just sort of meditates there for a while before he goes to his tent.
All right.
Now I have a question.
Yes.
Just a quick one. Does this count as a short rest?
It does.
Wonderful. Okay, I have spell slots
yay.
back now.
Yeah. No. After all you guys do your preparations and head to the arena, we'll count that as a short rest. And you enter in the eastern side of the arena and are brought to that sort of like that chamber that exists under
Waiting
the ground.
room. Yeah.
The waiting room, more or less. So that's been brought in. You guys have sort of been put down under there. I'm trying to find. Yeah, I'll figure it out as I go along. And if we go to the back with you.
It's
There.
fucking time, boys.
All right, so I've put like a
Sounds
few
good, yeah.
people sort of in the bleachers here. So, you guys head in. The time comes where the day happens, as it
Sunset approaches.
were. Sunset of the first day. It comes about, and you are brought to an arena.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh, fuck, bud.
So as you can see in the
Wow.
arena, there are a big old pile of people that are already there. Lots of people who have already sort of made their way in and taken seats. It's a lot fuller than I was able to make it here because I sort of like threw this together real quick while I was getting some other things done. But you guys have all come in, and you are by the eastern entrance, so the one that's on the right side. You guys are behind a gate that's on there, and again, as I said, you can see movement through a gate that's on the other side. And you can see that there is a large assortment of greenskins that are in the bleachers. A lot of trolls, a lot of orcs, and a lot of goblins have come out, because this is definitely a part of their culture more so than it is some other folk. Though you do also see a lot of the lizard folk and a lot of the kobolds that have made their way up into the bleachers to watch their friend who has come out. Excuse me, as well. Zephyr, the black dragonborn who's with you. The goblins from the goblin complex have sort of formed a little mob on your side of the arena, and they've got little makeshift flags made out of bullshit that they put together.
That'd be him.
Oh no, those are orcs on the right side. So it'd be the greenskins.
So these little...
So these fellows, and they're waving around little flags made of garbage and stuff like that. And there is one who is walking around with a little box on the front of them, like one person would be walking around in the bleachers selling hot dogs and popcorn. This one is walking around selling little jars of bugs. It's Goober, the goblin.
Yes.
He's
God.
He's got little jars of bugs that he's selling up there, and he's walking around and he's smiling, and people are throwing some coins at him on occasion, and he whips a full fucking jar of bugs back at those people.
Jesus Christ.
On every occasion but one, they manage to catch them. Only on one occasion does that jar strike someone in the face and break open. Everyone cheers, though, when that happens, as bugs go flying all over the place and people quickly grab them up and start eating them. There is a portion in the upper bleachers on your side that is, as you can see, full of the undead. So you see some greater undead that are up there.
My boys.
Yeah, you see like other revenants, a
Actually,
banshee or two, you see greater skeletons, and you do notice your good boy Benjamin Hyde is actually sitting up there amongst the rest of them.
Can we notice them
attendant to
now?
the king.
Or are they, because they're kind of like above us if they're like here.
Yeah, we're still
Yeah.
in the...
You guys are still sort of in that thing, but you can see through gaps and whatnot some of these people that are here, and it's more of a describe of when you come out into the
Yeah, so from where we are currently, are we all in like separate chambers that we get brought out, or are we all in one big like preparation area?
You guys are in one large preparation chamber that's on the right side, and the challengers are in a preparation chamber on the left.
Right. Okay.
So, as this happens, though, let me just quickly check a thing here. Okay, good. As this happens, the gates in front of you open, and you guys make your way out into the sort of open area right here. You may sort of put yourselves however you would like to be.
Bip.
How do that?
Goodness, you're large. Let's
Yeah, you
shrink
need to
you down
resize
to
that.
person
There you go.
size.
So
let's just do
where
that.
you have your character sheets and whatnot,
Yes.
drag and drop.
Yep, you can drag and drop. I can do that for you. I'll just do that for you real quick.
Please, thank you.
So there's you. And there's old Gowl.
Scowl and Gowl.
Scowl and Gowl. So there
Oh,
you
that's-
are.
Oh, that's... How do I... Oh,
In that
wait,
round.
can I move them?
Yeah, you should. You have permissions to your own character sheet, so
Mm-hmm. Now I'm gonna go in here and be like, this is representative
how did I
of
do that?
Gowl
Oh,
Embrace. And that
Yay!
is your motherfucking HP.
Why is there two of me?
Going.
I'm sorry.
And that's your AC.
Huh.
And then, you know what? We're not going to show nameplates just because y'all know who you are. So
Yep.
I'm just going in.
Because you
Lovely.
placed me, I cannot
Mhm.
move myself.
Yes, I'm just going to change that real quick.
This is so cool.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
this is dope.
Okay, so that's for Ophelia. This is your HP.
good. Got it.
Nice.
And this is your AC. Bugoush.
I'll put mine in. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Is that
Are you putting green as HP? I imagine.
Yeah, HP is representative of the green ones, and this here is Mardus. So
And
that's,
AC is the blue or red.
blue. Just for
Okay.
now. We're gonna make life interesting. So bingo, bango, bongo. And there you are. Oh, right, yeah, because you've got that in there, but it's not representative of your character yet until I go in here and I say that this is Leshen. Ding.
A baba booey.
There we go, and that's your HP. And that is...
Hey.
That is your AC right there, bingo bongo.
Just gonna see how they link text. I'm just gonna.
Apologies to everyone watching. I know this is not terribly exciting at the moment, but it's first combat, so we're just we're working out the details.
we're working those details right on out.
Don't worry, the heads will fly soon enough.
So you guys make your way into this side of the arena. At the bottom of the arena, sort of to the south of you here, sort of on this platform that is up just above the bleachers, and there's like that large railing that sits in front of it. You hear a booming voice. Actually, you know what? I'm going to say that Benjamin's also up there. Old Benjamin.
Yeah, of course.
He's going to be standing up there, attendant to the king. He comes forward and raises his hands, and sort of the clamoring of the audience that's out there comes to a slow quiet. Oh yes, you can also see that Kaldaka has strapped a large keg to his back and is walking around handing out mugs of ale to some people. And you can see Willow, his wife, also walking around with a small tray of food, much like Goober, handing out bits of food in exchange for coins to some people in the audience.
Nice.
Up in them bleachers.
Now, a physical description I want to give. The hood is pulled very low, like face totally in shadow.
So you are in shadow. You did not recast the spell on yourself to hide yourself. Okay, that's fine.
I did not.
No worries. So yeah, you guys all make your way out. There's a roar of cheers from the crowd as everyone's very excited to see you guys come out. You hear some distant sort of like almost boos from the other side, where those orcs have sort of gathered themselves over on the left. And again, Benjamin comes up to that one balcony that's on the bottom part of the arena, and he raises a hand, and everybody falls into a hush. Oh, J-Nerd's in the chat. You can join us if you are able. I mean, you can still come in and hop in and join us, but
Jay's at a con, I think.
Yeah, she's at a conro right now, so if she's unable to join us, though, in terms of playing for the remainder of the game, that's totally fine. I just give you like a brief catch up if you can come in, but if not, that's fine. So as old Benji puts his hand up and everybody comes to a quiet, he then speaks, and his voice projects with an unnatural volume. And he goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to one of our first honor duels in the Grand Arena." And he puts his hands up, and everybody loses their fucking shit in the audience. Like, people go bananas.
B-A-N.
B-A-N-A-N-A-S. So... And again, he sort of like puts a hand up, and the ruckus quiets a little bit. And he goes, "On our one side of this arena, we have representatives of the Black King defending his honor and his rule. And their challengers," he looks over to the other side, and the gate slides open. And you see a few shadowy figures standing in the dark, their piercing eyes staring out at you. "Are members of the Blood Drinker clan, who have come to challenge." And they make their way out onto the field. Let's see if this works. Oh, fuck yeah, it does. Okay, cool. So wouldn't you know, look at that, motherfuckers, it's Garmok. Bugaush. And that's some motherfucking HP.
What?
And that
One
is
absolute unit gonna take us all on.
And it's just him. No, I'm kidding.
This absolute unit.
This absolute unit. So that, ladies and gentlemen, that's Garmok. So you can see his little nameplate there. I don't know if you can see it.
I cannot.
I
Dope.
cannot.
Sweet. So it's just for my benefit. That's
Backs up.
Takes a step back. All right, and then he has with him 3 orc boys.
Look at these dudes.
Look at these fucking dudes. These fucking
How's it
guys
going,
right here.
dudes?
How's it going, dude? Staying away from the alcohol.
Bye, Jay.
Are we like, as we're like out here, do we have like enough little bit of time to just like coordinate before we?
Oh yeah,
So-
no, like they've entered the arena, but they are waiting for the go ahead more or less
Yeah.
from the king before continuing the fight.
So Leshen is
beginning.
going to lead the group and get to Mardus and do like the come over here. We're gonna be the front to protect our squishy friends.
It takes him a moment, but he does step forward.
Tup, tup, tup. And you see Garmok standing over on the other side is beating his chest with his axe and his cudgel out. So just hammering on his chest with his fists, though, cheering loudly. And a few of the orcs that are in the bleachers just behind them, they cheer back and they yell and they flail their fucking arms around and stuff like that. Nice, you guys have a moment to speak. What do you guys say?
Leshen basically turns to the group and is just like, "How many of you have combat experience?"
A little bit.
Ophelia just doesn't
It's just
say anything.
Mardus, you are the largest of us. I would hope you know how to. And I'm assuming he has a sword of some sort on him.
He is armed with a shield and a battle axe.
I'm assuming you know how to use that axe.
Yes, I had some training with
We'll
it.
take
Yes.
that as a yes.
He looks to Leshen and he goes,
I have an idea. It is to our advantage. You'll know the signal when you see it, trust me. The 3 of you do as you will in terms of your skills. I'm assuming you and Mardus are closer combatants, Ophelia. What it is you do apart from your skill in magic that was easily portrayed.
If I may address him before we start, he still thinks I'm normal. I doubt very much he has seen it. Might put him off his game.
Agreed. A wise decision. I will prepare a spell and hold it until they move. When it goes off, you will know what to do.
he kind of just like gives a wry grin and seems to he keeps like, you see his hands like clench and unclench on the top of his cane.
And Ophelia's just like, okay, old man, sure, like, go.
All right.
Whatever, Grandpa, we get your plan.
Otherwise, yes, try to unnerve him.
All right, so as you guys are sort of making your preparations, getting into position, they seem to be doing the same thing on the other side, whereas Garmok is standing, like, very imposingly holding his 2 weapons, and he has the 3 gentlemen who are behind him, the 3 orcs, his subordinates, which do not appear to have a lot of other stuff going on, basically, other than your basic armor and whatnot. But they're backing him up. They're not moving into like flanking positions or anything like that. They're just backing up.
There
Orc
is
Daddy
hype,
here.
man.
Yeah, in effect. And they look scary, obviously. They're orc raiders. They have, like, war paint on. They've got beads and bones hanging off of them. They're simple sort of leather armor. But other than, like, the simple scraps of leather gear that they're wearing, they don't have a lot of other armor on. True to orcish fashion, they are, for the most part, just wearing, like, a loincloth and some boots. Maybe some bracers for their hands and whatnot. Now, anything else that you guys do?
No, we're waiting for Benjamin. Is Benjamin going to do like a good old gladiators ready, this side?
Oh, okay, before we get to that, Ophelia is just gonna kind of try and push between Mardus and Leshen. Mardus, and just kind of like Thank you.
Takes a step back.
Okay. Garmok, she kind of yells. Ross.
You
It
see
just-
him furrow his brow and squint at you, almost confused.
He recognizes the voice, but
Yeah.
all that is presented in front of him is just a figure in black and silver robes with a deep hood.
I'm gonna say we should just to keep formation like that, so we're in line with them, so they don't get around us.
That's a good
Hit the
idea.
Turtle Man. Turtle Man's in the back, gonna be slanging them.
There you go.
You're gonna put me to... Okay, sure.
I'm just gonna move you down so that when you're talking to him, you're pretty much
Yeah.
straight on.
Have you prepared your men? And are you ready to succumb to the king's judgment at your loss?
His face kind of twists a bit as he recognizes your voice, and he goes, You sneak!
How do I sneak?
Your treachery! Your lies earlier! Your illusions will save you not in the coming conflict! I
None
give
of
you
what I
one
said.
option to leave now and submit.
May I have some at his response of "You may leave now"? Leshen is going to take his whip and mutter a prayer of sort that's inaudible, and then he scores his thumb right down from tip to tip on the whip and cracks it, and it lights on fire.
Fuck!
I'm activating the Rite of Flame.
Oh, that's
So
good.
just the
right,
big
so-
old. So
What
when
I'm-
that activates,
Ah!
I will. Yeah,
What
big
I'm
old,
gonna
big
do-
old text.
That's a big old wall of fucking text there, but
I lose 1 HP. You lose HP equal to your character level, so I lose 1, and my maximum HP is decreased by 1 for the time being as well.
Okay.
But now my weapon does an extra 1d4 fire.
Okay, so,
Oh dang.
may I continue?
Of course, I'm just letting him know that he should shit himself now.
Getting ready.
None of what I said earlier was lies. I just presented myself in a way that was more suitable to the environment.
He squints and almost scowls in return. Even if it's just the way you look, a lie will remain a lie. And he spits in the dirt in front of him.
Then let us dispense with these lies then. And at that moment she reaches up and pushes back her hood and
Oh,
drops
yeah.
her veil
Oh, yeah.
immediately. I'm rolling intimidation.
Oh yes.
Oh,
It's
fuck,
not-
son.
Not.
Nice.
There we go. Oh,
There
okay.
we go.
So the first one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright, so the
Sorry.
first. So,
Can I-
yes.
can I- can I-
That
can I-
was
can I
a
boost- can I-
16.
Can I boost her with my fucking flame whip of?
You know what?
I-
Yep. I will say that you rolled with advantage, so we'll take the 18
Okay.
on the first roll there, just because
Yeah. I
that's
apologize for the multi-click.
considerably better.
Yeah,
No
it's fine.
worries, no worries. So yeah, you guys do you fucking pull back your thing and drop your veil, and his eyes widen as he stares at you. Let's have a look of what his good old friend Garmok. What's your fucking
What's his will?
what's your shit, buddy? What's your will?
Ah!
What's your wisdom scar, buddy boy?
If he's frightened of you, then that means he has no problem with us.
Intimidation's
back
charisma, right?
then. Intimidation is charisma.
It
too,
is
then.
charisma. Yeah.
It's charisma. It's the person using it uses charisma. Receiving it, you have to make a wisdom save.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Okay, so it's defense against a wisdom saving throw.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happens if I click that? Does that do with
There you
it?
go.
Oh, poor boy.
Bingo,
Oh, no.
bongo. Oh, beans.
Okay,
Yeah.
so our buddy here has a +2. and he
Our
rolled a-
buddy Garmok, as you pull back your veil and you pull your veil off your face and you fucking strike up fire on that thing and you guys are staring him down, you see him falter. Like he shakes a little bit. And it's not in such a way that his men seem to notice, but he just gives a little shake there. You notice, or more accurately, you feel on your left, their right, up in the bleachers where Benjamin is standing, a thrum of energy picks up.
Yes.
There is a brief crack of sound that you hear come from the top of those bleachers in that small room, a light pale blue flash of energy, and stepping forward to the banister is someone that I think only two of you have ever seen in person.
Oh no.
Oh shit!
It
Oh
is
shit.
The Black King Sotiris steps up and stands at the bleachers.
Bone Daddy.
Bone Daddy, ladies and
Over
gentlemen.
The true
Uh,
Bone Daddy.
No, I'm trying to put in a picture so y'all can see what the fuck is going on here. There we go.
South side or north side?
So
South side.
that's the person that we're looking at here, and we'll say that he stands right about there. In the balcony area.
Seeing him appear, Ophelia would drop to one knee.
A lot of people that are in the audience stare with open jaws. This is a person that you all remember has not been seen by almost anyone in the kingdom. Very few have ever actually seen the king in person. And it is a rare and strange occasion for him to be present physically anywhere.
Oh yeah, Leshen Niels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody else in the party? Okay.
Gowl, due to his form, it's kind of hard for him to kneel, but he does bow his head as he leans on his cane, sort of like a sort of a standing like push forward bow.
Yeah.
So he stands as you can see in ornate black robes with like a pale silver armor that covers his shoulders and torso. There is a crown of pale fire that floats just above the skull, and his entire skeleton appears to be sort of glowing. You get this feeling at this distance even of like standing in front of a speaker at a concert when the bass just goes into your bones, like where it just like that thrumming energy passes through you.
The air itself is so dense now.
Yeah,
that
you feel that charge, and he raises a hand to the audience and to everybody that's there, and a silence falls. Garmok is shaking from the bunch of you, then turns his eyes and slightly angles his head up to see the king, and falters a touch more.
Live in living color.
Yeah, he just sort of stands and he shakes. The king raises a hand, and he says simply,
"You may begin."
Roll for initiative, boys.
Just gonna take a step back before we do that.
Leshen and Mardus take the front.
Yeah.
everybody, roll for initiative. Ophelia's
To do
got
so,
a 5.
Click on your token, go into your character sheet, and click the initiative.
With my -3, still 14.
Jesus!
Crit succeed.
Nice.
24.
Dang!
Holy crap.
So Mardus and Ophelia are same time.
Mardus would go after Ophelia because Mardus's dex is -1.
Yeah.
That is
Awesome.
correct. Yeah, he's got the lower dexterity, so he would go after. All right.
Safe to say,
Let's
I'm
have
going
a
first.
look. Here.
Yeah.
Artie, real quick, how do I bring that up on screen?
There should be on your little list of tools on the left-hand side. There should be something that looks like a stopwatch, I think.
Yeah, like a little clock. Up there we go.
Turn order.
Yeah.
There it is.
Turn order. Bingo bongo. There we go. All right.
And
So
there's an
you
option
guys.
that organizes it so that it will like
do.
shuffle it.
Now 4 of you rolled, and yet I'm only seeing 3.
If you
Who
want
was
to
that
add
for?
things manually, right-click Gal's token, and then there should be an add turn at the top of the list, and then you can enter the number in manually after that.
Which is
Okay, there we go. Yeah, because you are at.
Oh, I didn't select the.
14.
No, I really didn't
Oh,
select
I
the
should-
token. That's why.
I should have
okay.
done this earlier, but I did not. Oh well, I'm good.
Let's do numerically. Yeah, there we go. Let's do that descending. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
You got some battle. You got some battle music for us, boss man.
Oh, we definitely have some battle music.
Yep.
My
And
dudes.
don't forget to roll your initiative for your baddies.
Gotta roll initiative for my boys. So these guys though, fucking shit the bed. While this was going down. So we've got him clocking in at a 2, and his boys. Yeah.
Woo!
Each of his boys, they clock in at a sad 1.
Oh, they must have got. So did they get disadvantage on their initiative rolls because
Oh,
they were
wow.
scared shitless?
100% these guys fucked it. Like,
Nice.
Hey,
So-
hey, Steve. Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
Digital high five.
Yeah. Nice.
Nice.
so that's our turn order there. We've got Leshen at 24, we got Gal at 14, we got Ophelia at 5, Martis at 5, and then Garmok and the 3 orcs coming in at lower, sadder numbers. Oh, fuck. All right, so let's find us some fight music. Oh man, we're not gonna play fucking Bangarang. As much as I
I'd
want to.
motion one of my suggestions, though, if you put those in.
I haven't yet because most of my system has been my Mac that I normally use for my media editing and my like sound ripping and a bunch of the other stuff that I normally use got fucking destroyed and has been out of commission for like 2 months now, which is why I'm
But
way
it's-
behind on a bunch of editing that I want to get done.
But it's in process of being revived, so
Yeah. I'm trying to figure this out, but it's one of those things that we will have to sort of get through as we go along.
Yeah.
yeah.
Counterattack.
That's right. So, Leshen, you're up first.
Alright. Making the use of my whip's range, I'm going to move at least 10 feet away from my opponent, so in his face, but not close enough. And I lash forth with the consecrated whip, imbued with the rite of flame, with a 20 to hit for 5 slashing damage and 4 fire damage.
God damn. So yeah, that's a 14 plus 6. And you come in with 9 damage on that. Yeah, so that
crack
hits.
him up, son.
You fucking like bring that whip up and crack, and you strike him across the chest. The fire, whoosh, like comes off, and he fucking shouts in response. As a little bit of blood splatters out, and he takes that damage. Bogaush.
Yep, I have no bonus actions to use, so that's my turn.
Gal, you are up next.
Okay, I'm going to see if this functions properly. Gowl, sort of like because this happened so quickly, he leans up from his bow, and he sort of takes his cane in one hand, brings it to the side as he drags it through the dirt, and you hear him mutter some arcane incantation as the top of the cane kind of like pulses a green, and he stamps it twice on the ground, and as he does, he yells out, "I will show you no bad. Be still." As he casts Entangle, I'm gonna try and see if I can bring this to the thing. Can I bring this to the thing?
Yeah, you click the spell name, and it should pop it in.
This thing is still in the other window. That's okay.
It'll work in the other window.
Yep. You just click it
So
on
I
your
ha-
character sheet and it'll roll it.
Oh, it's one of the special things.
Yeah, so it's in your spells
So-
tab.
Oh, you
click
haven't made
it.
a map.
Oh yes. Right. Okay. So he's
Yeah.
he's gonna do a thing.
So what I'll do
tell me what it
is-
does.
So for Entangle, so it's got 90-foot range. 90-foot range, so I'm going to do a 20-foot square. In that square, it's difficult terrain, and any creature that is in that square, when I cast it, has to succeed on a strength saving throw, or you are restrained until the spell ends.
Fuck. What's
So
the
I'm going
DC
to
on
make
that
a-
strength saving throw?
It would be my spell save DC, so it would be 11 based upon the druidicness. So it would be, I believe, if it's 20, it would be sort of a block like this. So there is difficult terrain, and it's just a bunch of like thorny vines that are attempting to ensnare all of the orcs.
Okay. All right.
So each of them-
it's in that space, is it?
Yep.
Okay, let
Each
me
of them
see if
needs
I
to
can
make.
find anything.
Is that showing on your screen as well?
Yeah.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
So they
everything in
all
that
need
needs
to.
make strength saves.
They need to beat they need to make a strength saving throw and beat an 11.
They got to make a strength saving throw and beat 11.
And then
Let's
if they're
see.
not, that means
They are restrained.
They get
They can
fucked.
also, they can also at the a creature restrained by the plants can use its action to make a strength check against your spell save DC. On a success, it frees itself. When the spell ends, the conjured plants wilt away.
And the condition restrained. A restrained creature's speed becomes 0, and it can't benefit from any bonuses to its speed. Attack rolls against this creature will always have advantage, and the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage. They also have disadvantage on dex saves.
Get
I'll
fucked.
just
So
move
if they
that.
fail this,
There you
so
go.
if they fail this-
Trees.
So if they fail this, they are fucked, bud.
Oh yeah, they get fucking hosed. These lads. Yeah, we're gonna fucking.
The really useful thing about Entangled as well is that area isn't treated as rough terrain. It literally only affects the people when the spell starts, which means we'll be able to run in there and not be.
Oh no,
hindered.
it is for the duration. These plants turn the ground into difficult terrain.
Oh, it
So
is difficult. Okay.
It is difficult terrain,
Yeah.
but
What?
They are extra fucked.
They're extra fucked if they do not make those strength saving throws.
Oh, they get fucking hosed. All right, so let's see. If we go over here, let's see if I can make this work from a thing. If I'm like, bop.
Oh, he failed.
He does
failed.
not.
Yeah,
He
okay.
does not make that.
That's one.
Now that's his. That's
Garmok. Is
that's
that
Garmok who makes that,
Whoa.
and then
Okay, he makes it. He makes it. He does
he
not.
does not.
So,
So-
one of the
There you go.
boy orcs gets held back.
There we go,
Yeah,
Entangle.
there it is.
Ah.
Yeah. So Garmok and one of his orcs gets held into this stuff and cannot move, but the others can treat it as difficult terrain and are capable of movement.
If you
Yep.
click on their token stock, I believe you can put the little status inflictions on them, so you can.
Oh.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you can put the a symbol on them to
To be like,
oh,
oh, he's ensnared.
Yep, and one of the boys.
Go fucking this guy. There we go. So they got little icons on them that would indicate that they are, in fact, ensnared. I'm gonna
Only
just
seeing-
move this
I'm
up a
only
little
seeing
bit.
Garmok.
Only Garmok is.
Oh, weird. The other one's not showing up. I don't know
There
why.
it
There it
is.
is.
Got it.
Okay.
Just took a while.
Just took a little
Okay.
bit to
So
populate.
Garmok and the bottom guy. Okay, cool.
I will be right back. The entanglement continues.
And that's your turn. So feel it next.
That's your turn, bud.
Okay. So,
Oh.
so each square is 10 feet, correct?
Each
Each
square
square
is
is
5.
5.
Oh, cool. That's a lot better.
So with your 30, you can get all the way up here.
Yay! I'm less useless than I thought. Perfect.
Mardus can get right in there.
Yes. She is, however, simply just going to here.
Okay.
And as she does, simply says aloud to everyone, Garmok goes down last. He must see what his insolence done. And for the
Oh,
moment,
shit.
I'm just going to cast False.
False life.
Yes.
Ooh, nice.
Okay, so that gives
Is it-
you
is it-
additional
it's-
HP.
Is it clicking?
It
haven't
might be
seen it
taking a
yet.
while.
It might be taking a minute. There's a lot of junk on the screen.
Yeah.
I will look it up for the curious.
No, because I already have it set and everything. I'm just waiting for it to roll.
I know I can't post it, but
So what false life does, everyone, is it gives me temporary hit points. So
How many
I
temporary
maybe-
hit points does it give you?
1d4 plus 4, which I think I'm just gonna do that.
Yeah, you
Roll
just
that
roll it.
d4.
Slash roll 1d4 plus 4.
Oh,
There we
she
go.
Succeed.
Nice. So that is max. You get an additional 8 HP. I'm gonna add that in. So
It's 10 hit points though. So put
10
it in
hit
the.
points, yes, indeed,
Yes.
10 hit points.
so you
that
are still though up to
my-
14 out of
Yes.
yeah. So your health goes way the hell up.
Okay, that is my turn. Gormak must go down last.
Okay.
All right.
In the
boss.
wrong place. Okay.
Martis, you're up.
Right. So Martis kind of takes stock of the situation. He sees companions running in. He sees the entanglement. Hears Ophelia's suggestion, and he kind of weighs his options slightly. Realizes that he's more of a melee fighter and can't really entrench himself in the entangling vines either. So he's going to, like, hop from hoof to hoof briefly. Then he's gonna make a break for it. He's going to make a break for it in one particular direction to the south, and then immediately use his dash action to turn and make a straight forward line to about here.
Oh
I
shit,
was gonna
son.
bullhorn
How
him.
did you do that? But we'll get to that later.
While you're holding your token, if you right click, you'll be able to place a point where it stops, and you'll be able to see the distance that you're moving as well.
We'll play with that later. That's fine.
Yeah, but because he's a Minotaur, he gets to use his Goring Rush. So immediately after using a dash action and moving 20 feet, he can then
Jesus Christ.
use his horns as a bonus action.
And this poor boy is one of the restrained, so this
Oh,
goes
yeah.
at advantage.
I think there we go. That's better. So it's
22
22 to hit for
seven.
7 piercing damage.
Jesus Harold Christ on rubber crutches. So you fucking like you dash around on this thing just like running across the fucking field, and the one guy's got like vines up on his leg and he's pulling at it, looks up and goes, "Oh no!" as you like run in and fucking heave into this dude, and he takes it bad. He takes a bad hit. He's not down, but he is fucked right now. Like he is
Horns
in
right in the thigh.
he is
right
in
in
That-
he is in bad shape. He is not doing okay.
Those with a suitable passive insight can see that there's kind of like a panicked sensation going over Martis at the moment. He's not like in a rage, and he's not like in a battle confidence. He's like, "This is the best I can do. I'm trying."
It's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, runs in.
Choo choo train coming through.
Yeah, and it's like, despite your unease, the one orc that you ran into was visibly terrified, like, as
Of
you were
course.
approaching, because he can't move or dodge or get the fuck out of the way. So,
Terrible Terry Tate coming through.
yeah, in effect.
Whoa,
right.
it's the pay train, baby.
So, now, it's Garmok's turn. Garmok, I believe, can make a strength save at this point to attempt
He
to
can
free
indeed.
himself. Alright,
Yeah.
Guga. And
Has
that
to beat
is...
an 11.
That is... Oh, so he has to get beat an 11.
Yep,
Question: does that use his whole action?
that is
does,
his
yeah.
action.
Ooh, so he can't attack if he breaks free. Cool.
He can move, but he cannot. He can either do a bonus action or move afterwards.
Okay.
Let's see if he's beefy enough to break through plants.
Let's see if he does it. He does.
Oh, he does it. He's out.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
He, like, angrily, you see Garmok just, like, furiously tear at the vines and stuff that are around him. As he rips them aside, and he picks up his axe and his cudgel, and he lets out, like, a devastating war cry. This fellow, who just got his shit pushed in a little bit, let's see how well he do while he do the attack. Let's see how he get... Oh, he makes it out, too! Sweet. Alright, so, other guy also, sadly, blows his whole fucking turn, getting his shit out of the thing.
No.
No.
Although I don't think he would, because he would provoke an attack of opportunity and might slap the shit out of him.
Only if he leaves my threatened space. He can move
Yeah.
around me, but he can't move away from me. as
Yeah.
well.
So he manages to get himself free, but that's his turn. he can't really do much more than that. This fellow on this side, though, moves to that position, turns to face you. And he gonna make an attack.
Okay.
Let's have a look here.
Is he now?
Yeah, he's going to make an attack that looked like that.
Whoa!
Oh, damn!
Holy
He got it.
Whoa!
He got it.
So-
correct.
That's a nat 20.
That is
So
a
roll that
nat
damage
20.
twice.
So that double any dice that are involved in the damage of the attack, and then add the modifiers afterwards.
Okay. So, in this particular case, it
It would be
is...
2d12 plus his strength.
Okay.
Ooh.
That is a great axe. So, yes, that would be... Let's go... 12 plus his strength score. Okay.
Martis is down, I
Martis is-
think.
Down.
Cool. This one orc takes an ugly swing, and you are reduced to a bloodied state on the ground.
Yes.
Because that was a critical fucking strike. So yeah, we go.
E.
Yeah, that is goosh. So you collapse onto the ground as he takes a big gash out of you. The goblins in the audience freak out as that happens. They scream and they yell. Let's see. We go 5, 10, 15, 20 to that space. Actually, you would, because that is within your threat range, do you get an attack of opportunity with your whip?
It's still
yeah.
within it, I think.
If he moved out of it again,
Well, because he would be
Maybe.
within your range here. So then
Yeah,
to move
so-
to this position would
it's
provoke
it's
an attack.
it's not moving into my threatened space.
moving out of.
out of it.
Well, he is
Yeah.
moving out of a threatened space.
No, I mean in a sense that so anywhere within 10 feet of Steve's character is within his like threatened space because he's got a whip. If he were to
Yes.
say move 15 feet away after that, so if he were to say move in a straight line to this square, that's when he triggers the opportunity attack.
That's so
Okay.
weird that they do that.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's the problem with reach weapons.
Yeah. Okay. Because I was like, with a 5-foot thing, if you started here and he moved to this space and didn't attack you, that's an attack of opportunity because he's moving through your threat range. But so he's moved to there and attempts to make an attack against Leshen. Scary business. Let's see how that fucking goes. These guys are a challenge rating of 1/2. So that dude just
So
got
they
a
have-
lucky fucking swing on
Yeah.
you. So I am.
Yeah.
All right. Does a 24 hit you?
Jesus.
Oh yeah, boy, roll that 1d12.
Yeah, that is some shit. 1d.
Fun fact: if he gets anything higher than a 9, I'm down.
Oh god.
God damn it, guys.
He has 7.
Oh.
Okay, so I am down to 5 HP. Great.
So he takes a swing into you. It does some damage, and that is their turn. Leshen,
Top of
you
the
are
turn
up.
order, it's mine. Okay, I'm going to respond in kind and use my whip on the guy that just tried to smack me.
Whoopaka!
Ladies and gentlemen, ka-chow. 18 to hit for 5 slashing and 2 fire.
Okay, so you
Oh, fuck, yeah.
you fucking crush him with that 7 damage. It definitely brings him to a very bloodied state. He is not looking cool. Anybody else? Or sorry, is there anything else that you've got for your turn?
Give me a second, let me check my inventory. No, I don't have another melee weapon, so I can't dual wield. So I have
That's
a
okay.
hand crossbow, but
It's not like a free action to fire.
no.
All right.
Whips aren't considered dual wieldable weapons anyway, so I can't do that. So that's my turn.
Okay, Gowl, you're up.
Okay.
Assistance, please.
Okay.
I'm trying to debate what I should do here.
Hurt them. Heal us. Either or. Appreciated.
Heal might be good. Big mentor right down.
can't really do that.
Right, because our healer's not here.
Two of them are nearly dead, so kill them first, because that's less ads on screen.
So I'm just checking what I've got
Okay,
from
sorry.
my list of weird.
Sorry, Rainer. Turtle does not have a heal spell.
No.
No.
Not at the moment.
No.
You know what? I'm gonna roll those dice again. Would an attempt at intimidation be a bonus action, do you think, or an action?
I'd say that is a bonus.
So Gowl will release Entangle. So all around them, these like thorny vines and foliage that is wrapped around the vines just start wilting and dying all around them. Like there's just falling plant-based detritus just cascading all around them.
Okay, so
He looks up-
you dismiss the bush.
Yeah, it's not an action. I just stopped concentrating on it, so the spell starts ending. As it does, you might not want to get rid of that. As it starts, fading everywhere, and as it starts doing that, he cries out and he goes,
Like all of nature, you too shall rot.
Oh no.
and then he makes an intimidation check.
Oh shit.
14.
Uh-oh. Let's have a look and see if the boys make it.
I hate to. So, which ones of the group were intimidated by myself and Ophelia?
Oh, all of them.
We fucking wrecked their shit, dude.
Then doesn't intimidation proc disadvantage against targets that you're scared by?
Yeah.
So,
Does.
Yeah.
which means, first things
Well,
first.
He fucked it.
I
know-
don't mean to say that. But
No, that's
that
okay.
means that if that's the case, then Martis is not dead. Because
Oh, no.
Mardis wasn't the one who was. Mardis was just kind of standing there. You two were doing the intimidation thing.
yeah, that's
I
fair.
think.
So his other one
made
was
it.
a.
Yeah, you fucked
I don't mean to, but actually though. But I'm going to, but actually though. Because
Ooh,
I wanna die.
that's 3 people scared of me.
I'll take it going forward.
Okay, cool. No worries.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's fair.
Because that was my bad. I did miss that.
Yeah.
Ugh. So yeah, these are orcish raiders. These guys are serious business, so we got to be careful.
Mhm.
All right, so you did that intimidation.
14, so 3 of them.
Yeah, so that was 3 of them are now intimidated. But you did
One of
dismiss the
them being
bush,
Garbo.
though. Is that right?
I did dismiss the bush. However, he dismissed the bush because as he finishes yelling that, he spins the cane, slams it again, and casts Entangle again on the same spot.
Son of a bitch! All right, and it's
11!
Psych!
now it's what is it that they have to make through it? Strength?
They have to make a strength saving throw against a DC of 11,
Okay, so
or be restrained once again.
the 3 orcs made it.
Oh.
Yeah!
Fucking
Oh my god, he's stuck
Garmark,
in my line.
Garmark does not make it. As you entangle just him as the roots come shooting out of the ground again, they
Wait,
wrap around him all over the place, and he's just like, God fucking damn it! And he starts swinging around.
Sorry, didn't we just say disadvantage?
That
This
is-
disadvantage against attack rolls, not spell
Yeah.
saves.
But,
Yeah.
okay, but
Yeah.
3 of, okay, never mind, got it.
I was about to say though, shouldn't you roll for the other orcs because they're not all in the same condition? Some of them have been ripped up already.
Oh yeah, no, the
no,
first three were for the orcs, and then the last was for the Garmark.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Because his
Yeah.
Orc Claw of Luthvic is probably the...
Yeah,
is
Yeah.
Gormar.
that's Gormark.
cool.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Okay,
That's fine.
are we good?
Yep, so
Oh,
I will
thank
keep
you.
concentrating on that Entangle, and yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. Ophelia from her spot does not move, but her tentacles start gesticulating and reaching out. She points with her hand towards the one next to Leshen and goes, "No, you don't get to do that," and casts Toll the Dead.
Oh,
And that didn't roll my thanks. Give me a sec.
that's
For
okay.
people playing the home game.
So, the people playing the home game.
Oh,
this
they
is
can
what
see it.
happens. Yep,
I
and
adjusted the
because
screen so they can see the rolling.
he is missing hit points, we get to roll Actually, well, first,
Take 1d12 necrotic.
yes. Oh, okay, no, but you have to roll your save.
He must succeed a
Okay.
wisdom saving throw or
Yes.
take 1d8, and if he doesn't, then he takes 1d12. And that's a
No,
wisdom
no,
saving
it's-
throw against
A
what?
14.
A 14?
Yes, that's my
Oh
spell
man,
save
these
DC.
orcs are not very wise. Well, he goofed it.
Oh, so
So how
One second,
Toll the Dead is you take 1d8 if you're at full health. If you've
and
already
1d12
lost
if you're
damage.
missing anything.
Yeah.
So since I already cracked him with the whip, he now
Yes.
takes a d12.
Are you fucking serious?
that is
Bring it on.
enough to fucking kill him, though.
Good. Fuck.
So you extend your hand, and this bell gong rings, sort of in the distance beneath the ground of him, and he sees his skin rot as he slowly turns thin and goes, "Ooh," and falls over, and he is fucking done. So that guy is outie. He is on the ground. There's a
That's
thing I
fine.
can do that put an X over him, right? I can do like that. There we go.
Yeah.
Bongo, there it is. All right, so he falls to the ground and gasping for air.
KO.
KO.
First kill of the game.
All right.
Yeah.
Alright.
Mardus, give me a death saving throw.
Ah, so it was lethal. Okay. That's a nat 1. That's 2 failures.
Shit!
Dude.
But wait, are they fighting lethally?
Yeah.
Are they being assholes? Okay, cool, fine.
They're fucking orcs!
Actually, you know what? No. You are on the ground, but your death saving throws, I'm going to say, are to see whether or not you return to consciousness, which at this point you have not.
Okay.
So
So I was about
you
to
are
say,
down.
These guys did big up their honor duel thing.
Oh, yeah,
I would
no,
at least
they're-
like them to.
They're fighting for realsies, as it would seem. But you are at present still unconscious, but you're not dying immediately.
So for
now.
I was going to say, so for next game, do you want me to be a shark man or a scarecrow?
You're gonna be okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. Trust. All right. So Garmark goes, and he's got to do his strength saving throw to try and get out of these fucking vines. Does a 14 get anything?
Yup, he rips out.
All right. So he does once again
have to-
spend
oh,
his
yeah.
whole fucking turn tearing vines off of himself, with furious, fucking just thrashing away.
Does he have any disadvantage on strength because he's scared, or is that just sort of a you thing?
It still would have been 14. Out of the.
Oh
out of
yeah,
the
no, yeah,
two.
he full out just rips those vines.
Disadvantage is attack rolls. If the spell says that he has disadvantage on saves, that's what you'd be looking for.
Yeah.
Okay. So this guy, this one orc that is next to him, though, is going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He's going to run out to
Yeah,
this.
well,
Ah,
can't do that.
that's difficult terrain, by the way, so he's losing
Can't do
speed.
that.
Oh, yeah. Let's see if I can do, like, the ding, and then ding.
So
Yeah,
the first
20.
5 foot is essentially counts as 10 feet.
Yes.
Because it's difficult. Can't
Uh,
so he only has 20 after.
Yes. So he would
But-
move to, you know, well, he'll
Doesn't-
stay there. It's fine.
Doesn't he go through Lushan's threat radius?
He does indeed.
He does
So I'm
indeed.
cracking that bastard.
So hit him with your best shot. Fire away.
Da-da-da-da-da. So it's like, no leaving.
Yeah.
24 to hit for...
Jesus. Fuck. So you see,
Free fire.
you see this orc pull out a javelin and sort of like dash out of the bush and start running. He's aiming for Gowl in the back, and he brings the javelin up. You bring the whip around and crack him in the back of the head, and he falls face first into the dirt, unconscious, like he is down. Because that was fucking 11 damage to him, and that he just eats shit
Yeah.
immediately on the floor.
Nice shot, Lushan.
I'll be right back.
Yep. I am a glass cannon. The usage of my Rite of Flame takes my own HP, but an extra 1d4 damage ain't nothing to snuff at.
Wait. Doc, 1 second.
Mhm.
Do I add my spell attack bonus to... Oh, no, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. To
So-
my Toll the Dead, though. Well, he's dead anyways. It's fine.
The last orc manages to free himself from the bushes by stepping sideways and then hopping over Mardus's body. He gets to about there. And then, once again, pulls out a javelin.
Do you want to put the X over that one guy?
Oh yeah, that dude's fucking done. I forgot. I can do...
Yeah, that was one.
that.
That was 1 point. That was 1 point away from my maximum possible damage.
Paf!
Four.
Because my whip does 1d4 plus my dex mod of +4. That's maximum damage with the actual whip, 8. And I have 1d4 fire, and I got 3. So.
Pow!
Big numbers.
Back of the head with that fucking get out of here with that.
Crack that whip.
Licorice. So he fucking that guy eats shit. The other dude comes out, pulls a javelin, and fucking whips it all the way down. Long bombs a javelin towards
How far
Gowl.
does the javelin have?
the javelins that they can throw. Have a 30-foot range, or rather, it's between 30 and 120 feet.
It's 30 foot normal. Anything above 30 becomes long range.
So it becomes disadvantage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he
Unless
still
has-
he
unless
still
they
has
have long
disadvantage against you. So with this, it's between 30 and 120 feet plus 5.
Yeah.
So
Yep,
he's within that range, and he fucking pitches that thing down at you, and
Oh, fuck me.
does a 20 hit.
Yeah.
Okay,
20
because yeah,
hit
damage.
it was a 15 plus 5 was the lowest roll. The other one was a 16 plus 5. Now
Oh,
I
wow,
don't know
lucky
how to
bastard.
roll damage.
Roll
on
that damage.
Oh, there we go. There we go. On hit. Ding. So we're gonna go like this.
8.
8.
Okay, got it.
So that
Okay.
that brings you.
Yeah, I'm still good.
You're still
You need to
hanging
make
in
a-
there.
not
Also,
sure whether-
I need to make a concentration check.
Yeah.
Yes. 'cause
What
you
is
got damage.
concentration?
Constitution save of DC 10 or half the damage you took, whichever's higher.
Or half the damage or half.
So
the
it's 10.
It's 10. It's 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you
So
took
make
a.
Constitution. So it's Constitution saving throw.
And you
Yeah.
have to beat 10.
Constitution saving throw.
Load.
Fucking no. I drop it.
That's fair.
The all of the plants wilt.
The vines and the plants in the back, they go,
Fuck.
and they die
That's
off.
terrible.
That's rough. That's rough. But that's their turn.
So it returns to mine.
So it returns to Leshen.
So I am going to move to here. I am not going to enter any of their threat spaces, and boy that's running over here and just chucked the javelin is going to crack that whip. 11 to hit for 9.
That it just
He was
makes it.
Ooh.
You just make that AC, and that's negative 9 damage. So yeah, this guy who got gored previously by our lovely Minotaur friend, you catch him across the chest, and he collapses to the ground. And that is your turn, I believe.
Yes.
Gowl, you're up.
Oh, Gowl literally looks down at the javelin now sticking out of his. He was mad. He is the very mad. Okay, so I'm gonna go. I got a movement speed of 30. Okay, what can I do here? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 40, 45, 50. Yeah, suck a dick. He just looks at Garmok there.
Uh-oh.
Kind of whispers something, spins his cane around, and you see the top of the cane like pulses green again, and he shunts it forward, and you see this like crackling energy starts forming around him.
Oh, yeah.
And attempts to
Eldritch
try and
Blast.
freeze them. And I'm gonna go ahead and cast a frostbite cantrip.
Oh shit, son.
So I'm gonna go ahead and
Let's see.
cast
Let's see that
there.
cast.
Frostbite. Hold on, wait. Well,
Max
Oh, so-
damage. Gotta beat a DC 14.
Hold on.
Gotta be
Sorry,
DC 14.
11 actually. Sorry, it's wrong on there. But just the DC of 11, and he will take 6 cold damage if it hits.
Ooh, now that's a Constitution saving throw on his part. Eh?
Constitution saving throw is gonna beat 11.
Well, I can close those windows because all his friends are fucking done. So let's
crack,
see.
crack.
Now he is at disadvantage. Either way, he
Oh!
fucks it up.
Also, because he failed,
He's supposed to does that slow him
1d6,
a bit?
and he has disadvantage on the next weapon attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn.
Sick. Nice.
So he's
So
now got
frost, like, crackles
disadvantage.
around him.
He's now got disadvantage again for his next turn, and he takes 6 damage. So you see that the frost suddenly like whirl around him and then attach itself almost to his
I
skin.
like to imagine that, like, the giant burning cauterized gash I left over his chest has now got cold seeping through the center.
Oh yeah, he is in bad shape. Now he's still hanging in there though. Like despite the fact that his compatriots have fallen, he is still in very good shape. He is still dangerous at this point. Despite the fact that he's got these burns, he's got frost burns on him now. He's got little icicles hanging off of his tusks and off of his axe and his cudgel, and he smashes the two of them together. Little bits of ice kind of trickle forward, and then he lets out another like war cry. Martis, give me a roll.
Does Ophelia not get a turn, or?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hi.
it's Ophelia's turn. My bad. Ophelia,
Hi.
you're up.
There's a turn order on
There
the left side of the
is.
screen.
Take him out!
I was so
Fucking
concerned
Jesus.
with Martis. So yeah, Ophelia, get 2.
Okay,
Show what up.
I'm just gonna stand there. And first off, before I say anything, do you yield?
Ooh.
He's afraid of her too.
He's afraid
He
of
is.
all of us right now.
Oh, yeah.
But like, I am barefaced, tentacles waving in the wind. Do you yield?
Hmm.
Ooh.
I'm gonna do
5.
I'm gonna do him a wisdom.
Against,
does not.
If
Because I'm not doing a disadvantage. I'm
Okay.
gonna do like I'm just doing like a basic wisdom, and he without disadvantage beat the DC I set in my head. Just barely. You see him wait for a few seconds as he's staring at you. And his eyes kind of dart between each of you and his fallen men, and he just goes, "Whoa!" and like just he hasn't gone down, and he
Okay.
sort of takes a step to begin charging at you.
Okay, so be it. Ray of Sickness.
Oh fuck! He's gonna
Is it-
debuff the shit out of him until he falls over.
Why are you not clicking? For fuck's
fire,
sakes.
ice, and a plague of lies.
Okay, give me a second, guys. One sec.
Nice.
It's not doing what I wanted to. Character sheet. Ah! It's freaking out. Let me just come down here and click on Ray of Sickness. And we'll recast him.
Nice.
There we go.
8 poison.
Bingo bongo.
Oh god,
Okay.
22!
So, 22
you hit
to
him.
hit, and, okay, you also need to do a Constitution saving throw.
Oh
DC
Christ.
14.
Oh god, at disadvantage. Fuck.
Yup.
So he
Even
does,
if
he
he-
does not
Which-
take that.
Give me a second. What
I
does
have the
that
conditions
do?
here too, if you want to know the conditions.
Constitution saving throw. He's now poisoned as well.
Poisoned creature has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
So he is poisoned.
On everything. And 8. Yeah, 8 poison.
So he takes 8 poison as you just level your hand towards him, and this green sickly beam launches out, strikes him dead in the chest, and he just falters and coughs a bunch of blood onto the ground. He is not down though.
You yield.
To accentuate lessons,
Mercy
there's another
of
crack.
the king.
At this point, he, despite like blood trickling out of his mouth, he's got the burns, he's got the frostbite, he's got the bits of ice all over him, and he's just like, he's in a rage at this point. Despite the fact that he has been harmed so heartily, he will not falter, he will not give.
Okay, it's still a thing that she's saying. Like,
Oh yeah,
it's-
no.
You've already made him.
You say, will you yield to him again? And he looks and he goes, never! Never! And he runs at you. So,
Well, not yet, but-
Martis,
Now Martis.
what's your roll?
That'd be a 9, Chief.
Ooh, not yet.
Not
Could
yet.
be 10.
Still down.
Still unconscious. It makes me sad that you're unconscious for most of this fight. That bums me the fuck out.
That's
Now we
fine.
get to fight. Now we get to fight a polio victim.
So, he fucking bull rushes in this direction, and he is able to make 2 attacks on his turn. Because of the fact
He's
that he's dual wielding a
Oh.
cudgel and
Okay,
an axe
cool. Let's do this.
So-
Let's
Oh,
do this.
disadvantage.
Well,
But
how that
he is
works that
rolling. at disadvantage. That is correct.
Oh,
he
yes.
has- it's his attack to do one attack and bonus action to hit with the second, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just do your shit.
Okay, so let me see if I can find this on the thing because it doesn't have one of those or one of those either. So we're just gonna be like /roll 1d20. We're gonna add in some shit here. We're gonna 2 and okay, so what's it for?
Roll that twice, essentially.
Yeah.
Two separate times, take the lowest.
Yeah. And we'll go ding.
Oh!
He's not,
One.
well, he's not getting that.
Oh!
Okay, so decent. Yeah.
That's
So-
his first weapon attack.
So that's his first weapon swing towards Ophelia. That
Wow.
is a 20 hits, I imagine.
Yeah. 20
Okay.
hits. She's fuck. I don't even know what it's hitting against. It hits.
Okay, now remember though, you still have that temporary HP.
Yes, I do.
An extra 8, making you have more HP than myself and Mardus at full.
Why do you think I cast False Life, guys?
Oh yeah, of course.
It's good
Yeah.
shit.
Oh, that should
Oh,
be
shit.
14. There we go. Ding.
Roll that damage.
Oh god, so we got
Okay. Huh.
8.
Come on.
What's...
That
Jesus
does not
Christ.
kill you. That puts you
Fuck, okay,
at-
stop. No, you messed with my 14 again. That's supposed to be a 6, because I put temporary hit points. Let
yeah,
me
that
do
lasts
the math.
combat.
Huh?
That lasts all of combat. Your temporary HP hadn't been taken off yet.
Yeah, but you put 14 here. This is still supposed to be 6.
Yeah, your max HP
So
was
eight.
6 plus the 8 temporary
Yeah, so now
HP
I'm at-
brought
now
you
I'm
to
at-
14.
0.
Okay, you had 6 plus 8 is 14.
Yeah.
Yes, minus 12 is 2.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. We're good.
So you're
yeah.
at 2.
I am
there you go.
indeed at 2.
So he swings and catches you in the side of the head with fucking cudgel, and then takes a swing at friend next to him. Does a 13 hit you?
Nope.
So he swings wide with his bloody axe. He catches Ophelia in the side of the head with a cudgel and then swings wide with his axe and misses.
Oh, I'm ending him. Some bits.
And it is your turn, Leshen.
I am going to move behind him and impose...
There you go,
flank.
buddy.
Oh yeah! Let's
fucking
go,
knew it.
boy!
He does
Flanking
not,
bonus.
he does not get any reactions because I never left his range. And so my next whip strike hits with advantage. 17 to hit for 9. 6 slashing, 3
Oh
fire.
god. So what do you want to do?
Oh!
Oh shit!
Oh!
Okay.
How do you want to play it?
So as Leshen wheels around, because he ducks this shot, he wheels around, brings the whip in the complete opposite direction, and uses the bracer on his forearm to like fulcrum point to like it's got sparks flying off his arm as he whips it round to the point where the very like tip at the end of the whip, the silvered point, cracks the bottom side of his jaw.
Fuck. So you bring this thing
Oh, what?
around, and it swings, crack, hits him in the side of the face, and he tumbles to the floor immediately. Like, he just, like, immediately bowls right over, eats shit on the ground. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes our first awesome combat thing. Hooray!
Good old-
Didn't die! Yay!
Hold on,
Good
I've
old
got,
flourish
do
of
I
the-
have victory music? There you go, Steve got it for me, okay.
So,
So I was like, I can't find it right now because I don't have any of this really, like,
flourish
sorted
of the
yet.
whip, the flames dissipate.
Steve,
Yes?
if I may do a thing.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So is he dead, or is he just like severely unconscious?
I K'd the fuck owed him.
No, I'm talking to the GM.
I meant non-lethal damage.
He,
That's what I...
yeah, like, he bowled over. He is unconscious, though he is still alive.
So I'm going to lean down.
Ooh.
and grab him by the head. Just
Oh, no.
raise it a little.
Oh, no.
And as the tentacles kind of sense that there is a brain nearby,
Ooh.
they kind of just very lightly start gently crawling around his head.
Hello. May I intervene?
She's almost as if she's in a trance. She's so focused on what's going on, and she's just gently cradling this head.
Leshen's like, okay, so I know what a mind flare is, and what you're doing. No.
One quick sec.
Get as far as you can.
I'm going to ask the DM's permission here. May I have a brief ability to put a mental thought? Actually, no. I could just do this. I'm going to cast message. I don't even need a point. He's in my hands.
Yep.
Sick.
You have one last chance for the King's mercy. Will you take it? Or will you submit yourself to failure?
Garmok does not move, but one of his eyes does creak open as he stares at you defiantly. And he says,
With his
You-
tentacles are surrounding his face.
"Oh yeah."
Yeah.
And he looks at you with his one eye broken on the ground, and he says, "You win. I give."
Leshen is going to do the good old walking, grab Garlic by the shoulder, grab Ophelia by hers, and just no.
No eat.
Throws
no
Garlic
eat,
onto
no
the
eat.
floor.
Anybody gonna check up on your buddy?
Yeah, I was going to, but brain fucker's coming in.
But brain
I'm
fucker.
sorry. So, okay, basically, being forcefully pulled apart from him kind of breaks her out of her trance, and she's a little kind of disoriented, but it's real hard. It's still just kind of staring at him.
Leshen squares up.
And she's just gonna stare there and stare at him, but she's not making any moves towards him.
Okay.
An honor duel. Remember, we gave our word. You best keep it.
All right. So Gal moves over to Martis.
Yep.
What you doing over
hang on.
there?
Shit. I don't have
You can do a medicine
kit.
check.
I don't have a medicine kit, so I can't actually do anything to him.
Well, you can do one. You're just at disadvantage.
You can see what my
If
condition
that's
is,
how
but-
you, if that's how you
Yeah.
want to do it, I'm gonna say that. Can I say that my knowledge? I'm proficient in nature, so what can I say?
Yeah.
My knowledge of random reads
roll
and
me a
such.
nature.
I'm going to attempt to stabilize him before he becomes a corpse.
Yeah.
What should I roll? Medicine or nature?
Roll me nature.
15.
That's a fit.
15.
That's a
All right. So
That's a 15 at disadvantage. So
you manage to get Martis to consciousness. And Martis, as you kind of come to, there is Gowl sort of standing over you with a javelin sticking out of his shell.
it's like
And
pushing moss into one of your wounds.
the rest of the orcs are fucking done, like lying all over the ground, in varying states of unconsciousness and beat the fuck up.
Martis kind of like very groggily like looks around from like he doesn't sit up properly. He just kind of like sees Gowl, sees him at work, and then looks around, sees the what remains of the battlefield, and his head just kind of slumps back onto the dirt, and he groans.
We're being watched by His Majesty.
Pulls out the javelin, kind of hands it to him, almost like a bracing cane. He's like,
Get up.
like kind of just like puts it like into his left hand and like kind of turns and looks at the king.
Give me a Constitution saving throw with advantage, Martis.
Which me?
Martis.
Oh, Martin.
Okay, all right.
Just to get up.
24.
24. You get to your feet. Using the javelin sort of as a brace, you get to your feet, and as you stand, the crowd goes wild. Like,
Oh yes.
there is cheering, and with the exception of the few orcs that were on the left side of the theater who were cheering on the blood drinkers as they were coming in, everybody's going crazy. Everybody's having a great time. They're cheering. They're throwing bugs into the thing. So they don't have popcorn. The goblins from the Goblin Quarter are freaking out and going nuts about it because you took basically a hit that would fell 6 trees and you're still alive. That's nuts. So everybody's so excited, going crazy about that. So that is. Yeah.
As Modest kind of stands, looks around, sees the adulation, then he kind of like he finds his gaze wandering over to the Black King himself, and in a kind of a very much kind of just heaves a sigh and bows his head in more or less an apologetic fashion, and just kind of keeps it there.
Leshen is going to grab the unconscious body of Garmok that he threw down. Make sure Ophelia's like, okay, no brain suck.
She hasn't moved. She hasn't moved.
Then Leshen drags the body over to in front, like to about Nyar.
Okay.
And then dumps him in front of the Black King.
Nice.
So yeah, you fucking bring Garmok over here and you dump him on the ground in front of the others.
And then
The
he
king.
kneels.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
The king stands silent as he gazes down and regards all of these that are there. Quietly, he turns and he looks to Benjamin that's next to him. Benjamin quietly looks back, nods, looks out to the audience. These few orcs of the Blood Drinker tribe have broken our most sacred peace. What then shall we do with these people? Then he turns to the audience, and there's a mixed reaction from the audience. Some saying that they should be put to death, some saying that this was enough, a few calling that they should be turned to lightless. For those of you who do not know, lightless is a state of mindless undeath that is put against some people who break some of the laws in this city. If they are egregious or damaging to the culture or to the peace, they are sentenced to an amount of time as mindless undeath, a torturous existence, as it is known, until they are allowed to die.
My king, may I speak?
His gaze, Jesus H. Christ, turns to you,
Oh no.
and when you look at, like, do you look him straight in the face?
Gods, no.
Okay.
Gods, no.
Okay, so
she-
you don't have to
she's-
make a saving throw. You turn, and as his head turns to you, you
Well, okay, so
feel
here's the
that
thing.
gaze.
Hold on a sec. So I was
against
kind of looking up at that time
you. Mm-hmm.
as she was reattaching her veil, so she might have caught, like, the edge of his gaze.
I am
So
going to say no. If you do not look him straight in the eye, you don't have. I'm going to say you don't have to
No,
make a saving
yeah,
throw.
no, that is it. No.
So, yeah. You feel his gaze on you, though, and like I said, it's very much like that feeling of standing in front of a large speaker at a rock concert. You don't
Yeah.
hear the noise, but you feel it, that thrumming pass through you as his gaze turns to you.
So she just kind of keeps her head bowed now, just kind of staring at the ground, and maybe like just like looking at his beaten body, kind of near her feet.
Benjamin.
His reasons.
I'm sorry, Benjamin says, "You may speak."
His reasons for what he did were a lack of perceived honor, a lack of perceived strength, and no way to show that, to follow their culture and their history. What they did was not at all by our laws, not at all to be accepted, and short of the slavery that they intended to continue pursuing. perhaps opening the arena to allow combat such as this would allow them to show that strength and pursue that culture of honor and combat.
I'm just gonna make a little thing here to represent our boy
Benji.
Benji. Love him. So, as you speak, the king steps forward and once again places a hand on the banister.
Our kingdom is made of many people, many cultures, many races. It is in this diversity that we find strength.
He gazes down at Garmok.
Some act foolishly and without guidance.
His is almost a look of pity as he gazes down.
There must be punishment.
He waits for a moment as he gazes out. He levels a finger pointing at the other three who are there. The three orcs that had joined Garmok.
Well, the 2 orc corpses and 1 dissolved skeleton.
Well, I mean, the three orcs are still sort of unconscious, like they haven't been killed out there behind Garmok, so they're sort of lying on the ground.
They may leave. They followed a leader without honor. However, you...
He gazes down at Garmok. Garmok, in this moment, manages to lift his head and look up.
You must be made an example of.
He extends his hand, and there's just an erupting of pale blue energy that courses from his hand into Garmok's chest. Garmok shrieks in pain as his skin turns from a green to a pale gray. His eyes shrink and vanish, and he becomes what many have seen as lightless.
You will serve a sentence of 20 years. Then you will be allowed to die.
The audience has a mixed reaction. Most people cheer. Some stay silent, as this is not something to be happy about, though justice was meted out, and these people have been brought low, and their terror that they had brought to these people have indeed been quenched. Some feel uneasy about it, like it's scary what's happened. Though before much can happen, running out of the left gate where the orcs had come in comes their chief. He comes running in and places himself here. As some other orcs from their tribe come in and remove the other 3 who are on the ground, picking them up and carrying them away. He comes in and he sees Garmok now in his lightless state. He turns to the king and he kneels. And he says, "I know that we have caused much trouble, but I would like to care for my own. Grant me one request." The king nods, silently and gestures for him to continue.
Let me kill him.
The king stands for a moment, nods slowly, and turns to leave, vanishing again in a flash of blue light just beyond view. Benjamin remains, and he watches. The chief turns to the rest of the party, and he nods in a very knowing fashion.
Thank you. What you have done this day has restored honor for our people. I have but one more thing I must do.
Garmok, in his undead state, just stands. He doesn't seem to move, he doesn't react, he doesn't do anything. The chieftain steps forward, raises a great hammer, and brings it down heavy on top of Garmok's head, crushing it in, and on that strike, the body is reduced to dust. It crumbles and turns into an almost grayish white powder. The orc chieftain picks up a handful of the white powder in his fist, holds it with a sad look on his face. He lets it drift out of his fingers.
Such is the price of our old ways, young friend. Such is the price, my son.
There was a return to jovial cheering amongst the people who are in the audience. Many of the orcs and whatnot from the left side who had been cheering on the Blood Drinker tribe were elated to see what happened. Many of them cheering and beating their chest and roaring with honor. The orc chief once again turns to you, the group. He nods to you, places a fist upon his chest in an almost orcish salute before making his way out of the arena.
Leshen returns with the girl, tip of the hat.
Gull just nods.
Ophelia inclines her head.
There's the briefest of nods from Martis, but he continues keeping his attention to the floor.
As people start to filter out, many of them sort of, regaling how amazing it was, how everybody fought, and even Martis, how he took a really fucking heavy blow, and it just didn't kill him. Astounding.
I'm going over and supporting.
Yes, everybody's having a good time. On your way out, as you guys go to leave, you are met by Benjamin.
As we are walking out, Ophelia is scanning the crowd to see if she can see another similarly robed and cloaked small figure.
You did. Just up here to the right of the royal box, you see she is being sort of ushered out by one of the grave guard who's with her.
Yeah.
And I'll just put Steve.
Okay.
Put you over there. Here you are, Steve. And I'll just quickly adjust. There we go. Ding. 5 foot step back.
It's the little things.
It's the little things. So,
He hates people.
as you guys are getting ready to leave, you are met at the gate by a one Benjamin Hyde, everybody's favorite skeleton. And he comes to meet you.
Oh, yeah!
He sees you, and he is clapping as you guys walk up, and his little creakety bone hands clack, 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 as you guys are making your way along. Elated by your success, he comes and he goes, "Very well done. You've all done fantastically today. This is amazing. You've managed to quell this unruly behavior from these orcs, and it only managed to kill just the one of them. Not only that, but now we may return. If many in the future are now having this problem as well, we can bring them forward, and they may too have that out in the arena. They can have formal challenges, championships,
all manner of exciting things for everybody. So you have not just quelled this uprising, you have not just fixed this particular problem, but you have quelled future uprises. That is the mark of a hero. He looks around at each of you and he nods to himself happily.
Heroism aside, I'd call it duty.
And he nods to you and he goes, yes, many times it is the same thing. Now, you may all be delighted to know that you have been called into a private seeing with the king.
Ophelia looks rather uncomfortable. Just kind of pulls up her hood over her head.
Leshen under his breath. About time.
Hell, it's about time.
Well,
Championships, the
Benjamin.
snack of heroes.
When will this take place, Benjamin?
In the Palace of Fallen Leaves, later this evening, there are some healers that have been put aside to greet you at the gates to help you recover from any injuries you may have sustained. So within a few hours, you may collect yourselves and then meet us there.
Very well.
He looks over to Martis and just
Nods
sort of
politely and he trots off.
Leshen is still like got Mardus, he's under one of Mardus' shoulders, just trying to keep him steady.
You let your guard down.
he like looks up at Martis. He kind of like cocks an eyebrow.
I don't have much of that moss. It does not grow naturally here. I cannot do that again.
Mardus at that point just kind of, there's not much of a response. He eventually kind of forces himself off of Leshen to support his own weight and says, I'm sorry. I will do my best not to be a burden any further. And wanders out of the arena.
As he would be passing kind of Ophelia, he would just hear quietly from under the hood, "You are not a burden. In fact, you were quite the opposite." Just kind of quietly.
Leshen, what do you know of the Minotaur?
Before your conversation continues, Ophelia would just kind of, "If you'll excuse me, I need to find something to eat." Kind of leaves.
So be it. Fair travels.
How do I...
Just like that, she's like, poof!
Leshen puts a hand to his chin as Mardus walks away. He's like, he's a member of our city watch, much like myself. I know little about most of the guard, but... And he does, through his, under the brim of his hat, he does cast a glare at the Turtle Man. And it's like, not due to dampen his confidence.
Dampen. The boy was integral in our success.
Then maybe
But he
talk
was
to him like
careless.
he was.
I will when he is less careless.
He kind of just looks Leshen down, leans on his cane.
Up.
Up, rather. Wait, how tall's the Leshen?
6'2".
I'm about 6 feet, so he looks slightly up at you.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm 6 feet tall. So he glides his head slightly as he's hunched, so he is a little bit hunched over.
Oh yeah, of course.
I will make this very clear.
Oh no.
I prefer the company of the dead. They are regimented,
I will be
Quiet.
back in a second. I'm sorry.
With purpose. Martis has all of the strength that he could ever desire, and yet he is unsure. I would love to know why. Because if it is the cost of my head, because of his weakness, I must know.
Leshen, again, tilts his head up and casts his eyes down. You interest me, old man.
As do you, ex-monster slayer. You are a strange one here. You who bear the visage of life, yet are so steeped in death. We will have to talk further sometime.
And just walks out. Poof! I'm not trying to poof.
I'll just go like a poof.
Poof!
He disappears. Poof!
Poop!
Poof!
Leshen's left standing there alone. Left standing there alone in the amphitheater. He looks around at the empty bleachers and he's just like, "Aw, shit," and walks out like a bad motherfucker.
Will not peel.
This orange will not peel.
Okay. So,
That was cool.
You guys head out and you make your way back into the Black City of Autometh.
Utah.
As you make your way into the city, you are greeted at the front of the Palace of Falling Leaves by some of the Grave Guard. They escort you in, and there's a small chamber just before the throne room where there are some ghosts who float about, sort of semi-tangible, and they float towards you, and they have like small tinctures and potions, wraps, and things like that to get you cleaned up before you head in.
How much hit points do we recover?
All of them.
Yo, thank fuck.
Oh yeah.
I heard the start of that music and I very much expected it.
So these,
Oh,
yeah,
there
these,
it is.
yeah, the ghosts sort of hover around you and giggle to themselves as they either wrap your wounds. In many cases, though, they sort of wave their hands in a small spells they use to heal you. And those of you who are familiar with the arcane will know this is small cure wound spells that they just use in succession until you're cleaned up.
The zombie has a question.
Yes.
Do they use cure wounds on me, or do they have, like, necro healing?
They do a necromantic spell called Inflict Wounds, which uses infliction damage, which heals you.
Nice.
So yeah, they sort of float around and get you guys all figured out.
Can I use an Arcana check to see if I know what they cast?
Just to see if you know what they're casting.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's yeah. Go ahead.
That's a 4. No, that's a nat 1.
That's a 4. It's healing magic.
Whoa!
You feel good. Yay, turtle.
You're just like, ooh, ghosty magic. This is nice.
My shell is so shiny, I love it.
So, Ophelia has a bit of a kind of like wild look to her eyes. And she's kind of just a little hunched over, kind of holding where her stomach should be in regards to mind flayers, which I'm not 100% sure as the actual anatomy. That's where she's looking hungry.
Oh yeah. No, in the process of them sort of going along, like some of them might give your shell a little polish for Gowl, and they might, check your horns and polish Martis's horns, sort of straighten out Leshen's jacket. One of the things that they come over when they're sort of checking over Ophelia, making sure that you're okay, one of them hands you a bag.
Oh no.
So she just kind of takes that and finds like a little alcove nearby, kind of sticks her face in it.
Oh, yeah.
So low.
It's a small dog. I'm kidding. It's a brain.
Well, okay. So, but it's not quite, though. We discussed this slightly. It's just there's a bag and there's some slurping and she's fine.
Yep. Yeah,
It's
then
good.
you're okay.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it's spaghetti, you fucks.
now, the mind flayers.
spaghetti.
Mind flayers don't need to eat nearly as often as other mortal races do. The sustenance that they gain from consuming brains will usually last them several days at a time before they need to consume that again. Mostly they live on water, as they're mostly water-based creatures. So, though you would know, though living in the Black City and the accommodations that you've been set up in with you and your younger siblings, you have the ability, they have been bringing you sort of a substitute.
Yes.
Sort of like vegan brains, effectively.
Homegrown brain.
that you know is not the real deal, but it does satisfy the hunger, though it is sort of unfortunate how it's not quite as good as the real thing.
Which is why she kind of fell into that trance a bit when there was
Just
one
like real
right
brains.
in her hands.
Sorry I had to do that to you, but
It's like
you must bang their hands together.
gonna eat this brain. Is like, now I'm gonna have to stop you right there. Like,
You know I have to do it to him.
so yes,
I know.
you guys are brought into the palace, and you are brought into the throne room after you've all been cleaned up.
Oh. Oh shit, son.
Oh no.
There is a long hallway filled with banners and ornate architecture.
Oh shit!
Oh shit.
Pictures!
They
And what
bring
you see before you is a JPEG.
what you see before you.
It's only a model.
It's only a model. So they bring you into this room, and there's these large flags. The stonework in here is particularly ornate. And at the far end, there is a tall, black obsidian throne, and standing in front of it is the king.
Oh fuck.
He stands in wait of you as you are escorted by Benjamin up to him, so we're going to say about maybe 20 feet or so, and Benjamin then kneels.
The entire walk in, Ophelia has had her head down but the hood pushed back and gets within about 3 to 4 feet of Benjamin.
Leshen joins the line. As he kneels, he takes off his hat and holds it to his chest.
Gowl does that same look towards the ground, 2 hands on the cane bow.
Mardus will take a knee.
So yeah, everybody comes in and makes themselves as normal. Let's just pull that shit up. There we go. So I'll just kind of throw that in the corner there. Where for the folks at home.
So
Hit
they
the
can
king.
see what the fuck's happening.
There we go. Bam. So. I'm sorry, the list you're looking for isn't here. Please try again in a century or so. No.
Please leave your message after the
Totally.
drone of power.
So, at this point, you are considerably closer, and the thrumming energy that you feel is not unpleasant, though it is imposing to you. After a moment, Benjamin stands, and he turns to the rest of you, and he gestures to, as well as the other 2 party members are also present, so Zephyrs and Madame Blueleaf are also there with you. He steps down from the steps of his throne, and he walks just about 5 feet from you guys.
Oh!
Yeah.
Okay, so this is like standing inside the fucking Dragon Ball Z gravity chamber. It's
Buttholes
like...
clenching!
It's heavy.
It is.
Ophelia-
It's pee heavy in here.
Ophelia's head tentacles are basically like hanging fucking. straight down. Like, there's no
Yeah.
natural, like, wave to them. They're just like, make yourself small as possible.
So he steps down the steps and he walks up to you and he extends a hand down.
You may rise.
Gal does so.
Ashton does, puts his hat back on.
You
Martis
have
gets
done well. Truthfully, I'm impressed with the choices that have been made by my chief attendant.
He sort of turns a gaze towards Benjamin. Benjamin tips his hat and bows again, smiling as much as a skeleton can.
Which
you get-
is a lot.
which is a bunch.
Apparently a bunch.
You get that impression that he's very happy at sort of the turnout.
We always get the impression that he's very happy. It's kind of
Yeah.
his default state of mind.
He's doing a good job and he's fucking
Yeah.
thrilled about it. Like, it doesn't seem to matter what else is going on. He's just like, yeah, everything's fucking cool. So yeah.
Truthfully, I think you've all performed rather well. And you have proven yourselves capable, at the very least, for our next step.
Does anybody say anything? I'm breaking every now and then to see if anyone speaks.
Nope.
No,
Oh.
let the man finish.
Yeah, there's a brief pause before he continues.
The surface world, over time, will eventually discover us. They will eventually come in force to take this kingdom, to take my people. This cannot be allowed to pass. So, I have charged Mr. Hyde with a singular purpose. Find me a varied group of individuals capable of performing my will upon the surface. That is you.
The chat is going nuts. So he,
Yeah, chat is losing their shit.
as he says this though, he points a finger at your group.
My responsibilities as king unfortunately bind me to this location. I will not be able to leave Otameth, so it is you who must carry out my will.
He gestures over to Hyde, who nods and quickly walks away in between some of the pillars to one side, and in a moment returns with a small bag.
To begin, you will be given simpler tasks to acclimate you to the surface world. As time goes on, and I'm sure you continue to survive, I will give you more and more pressing, more important things to carry out. First is this.
He draws from the bag an orb. It's about the size of like I'd say like a cue ball from pool.
Yeah.
So it's the size of a pool ball.
You
And
close your hand and it fits palm to fingers.
yeah, it fits palm to fingers. And it's made from what appears to be some kind of crystal or glass. It's clear and has that familiar pale blue glow inside of it.
This will allow you to communicate with me from the surface. You will carry this in the event that you run into unforeseen circumstances.
He hands it to Benjamin, and Benjamin walks over to the group and holds it out. Does anybody take it?
I will.
It's
Leshen will.
it's in my art, Dave.
Oh, is it? Is that what that is? I didn't know
Fucking-
that because you didn't
fucking-
tell me nothing.
It's fucking
Oh yeah, there it is, right there.
this. Yeah.
Look at that! It's right there.
Take it
Fuck.
then, you fucking squid witch. Do it. Take it.
Alright.
Squid witch.
Fuck off.
It's not a squid sandwich.
So-
Come on.
So,
Shut up. Okay.
so,
Ophelia steps forward to Benjamin. It just takes a few steps forward and just kind of like, very gingerly, just kind of like puts out her.
Hyde, with a measure of caution that you are not altogether familiar with. I'm just gonna move this down here, so it's a little more visible for the folks at home.
Yep.
In a way that is sort of almost unfamiliar. He has like a caution to him. He very cautiously hands you the ball, this crystal orb, and he places it in your hand, and then takes your other hand and puts it on top to make sure that you have it, before slowly releasing his fingers.
She just kind of wordlessly nods to him and then just kind of like brings it in and like hugs it to her chest. She takes it backwards back to where she was.
The king steps forward to you.
Ophelia, you will carry this gift.
He reaches out and places a hand in the center of your chest. And you feel a connection there. Suddenly now the thrumming energy that you would normally feel that passes through you, that is almost oppressive, now feels comfortable. You feel connected to it in a sense. As he pulls his hand away, there's a faint glowing blue mark on your skin that fades away almost instantly and becomes invisible.
I will carry out your will, my king.
He nods to you, and then looks over to the bag, and he pulls out another item. It is a small crystal vial full of a black liquid.
This is for emergencies only. This is a portion of my strength, of my essence. And with this, you could use to defend yourselves in the most dire circumstance.
He hands it then back to Benjamin, who then very carefully brings it forward to Leshen. And it's
Leshen
the same thing.
graciously-
He takes
yeah.
one of your hands, he places the vial in your hand, takes your other hand, puts it over top, and he holds your hands together over the vial for a second, looking at you pointedly to ensure that you understand that it is an important object.
And Leshen, like, he doesn't make any head nods or anything, but through the gap between his face mask and his hat, his eyes are like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I know, I feel you, buddy."
No,
I
it's
got
good.
this.
It's good.
Okay.
It's good. You got it. Don't worry.
Gotta hang on to that king sweat.
I want you to carry a small vial of my poop.
If it is the Black King, we will.
It is!
Okay, we're good. We're good.
Okay, back to it.
And then the same thing happens. He steps forward and he places a hand in the center of your chest, and you feel that connection to the thrumming energy around you. And almost immediately that mark again, as he pulls his hand away, that glowing blue mark sort of fades out and away from visual recognition, but you can still feel it. in your chest, in your heart, you still feel that connection now to the energy that thrums through this chamber.
Is it the same type of energy when I was resurrected?
You feel a connection to that, yeah. It feels very similar.
Yeah.
Yuck! So then, again, he steps back, and he gestures as the sack is then opened to him again, and he reaches in, and bizarrely, fucking pulls out, from a tiny sack, because you get the impression this may be a fucking...
Bag of holding.
Bag of holding. Actually, no, sorry. After those two objects are given out, Benjamin then folds up the sack, puts it in his pocket, steps back, and then bows his head. The king then reaches to his left, and his hand seems to pass into space and rummage around a little bit. So it's almost like a small portal opens as his hand goes to his left, and then
He has a hand
comes
of
back,
space.
and he's pulling a large handle, and it comes out, and it is a large two-handed mace.
Oh.
He then holds it in two hands, and he walks forward and presents it to Martis.
Oh, damn!
You, my son, will carry this fury with you. No longer will you need to feel the pangs of fear.
He hands you the large mace. It is a mastercrafted two-handed warhammer, and it's got some other things that I will tell you about in private later.
So, Martis kind of, like his hands fall on the warhammer, and he kind of like is staring at it in disbelief. He doesn't look to the Black King, but eventually his head dips lower. He says, I am not worthy of this, but I shall do my best to prove that worth in time."
He
My
places his hand, again, in the center of your chest. He's got to reach up a bit. You're a tall guy. He places his hand again in the center of your chest, and you feel that connection to the energy that's in the room. And he leans forward.
You are worthy.
Oh,
Bone Daddy gave
recognition.
you the green flag.
Yummy.
Doesn't take much of an insight check to see that Martis is visibly shaking at this point.
He steps back, then looking at the rest of the group, he nods to both Madame Blueleaf, who's standing there, the Banshee that's played by Cassie, and to Zephyr, the Black Draconian.
You will find your place, both here and on the surface. You will find your truth. What happened to you and your family,
He turns to Zephyr.
and we will prove that they were wrong to lead you.
At long last, he turns to Gowl.
Oh, fuck.
Oh yeah, we didn't
And he-
forget about you, Turtle Boy.
Yeah.
No.
After passing a mark to both Blueleaf and Zephyr, he kind of like Gowl is kind of like standing on the end of the line of people that are there. He walks over, and you see him like the glowing flames in his eyes narrow a little bit, and he leans in close to get a closer look.
What did she do to you?
You see him, he grasps the cane tighter.
He traces the tip of one of his bony fingers across the scars on your shell and across the side of your head. those deep marring marks from that day you experienced years ago.
She tried to hollow you out, turn you into a puppet.
He failed, Your Majesty.
In part, they failed. They succeeded in marking you, marring your body, hollowing your spirit. I will make you whole.
He reaches down, and you see this cacophonous amount of energy rush out of his arm as he places his hand again in the center of your chest, rushing a whole pile of this bright blue energy into your body. All of your scars suddenly light up, and they glow, and your eyes glow with that blue, that pale blue fire.
You will carry the greatest of my connections. You will be a manifestation of my will upon the surface world, where my wrath deems appropriate to be wrought. You will stand.
He is just shaking in the huge amount of blue energy that's just tempesting around him.
Oh yeah. So the energy then subsides. The blue glow that is within your eyes, within your scars and whatnot fades. You feel full. A way that you haven't felt, I think, perhaps in your whole life. You have a sense of fullness to you. You have a sense of almost completion, as though someone had finished putting the last few pieces into a puzzle. While it still requires sort of growth and nurturing, you have been handed a piece of the Black King's strength. He has given you a small manifestation of his power. You, Soul Patch, are now a Warlock class.
Fudge nuggets.
You are no longer a druid. You are now a warlock class, and you carry your patron is the Archlich, the patron of the Undying.
Oh, the Undying!
I will see your will and fury unleashed, my liege.
And he just kind of actually somehow, you see his old rickety knee, he actually fully bows, and you don't hear any pops or cracks, and he just kind of leans against his cane and fully does a bow.
Yeah, you feel that you don't need a cane to walk. You can keep it; it's yours. But you now have that vigor of a good night's sleep. You have that strength that comes from being in probably what you feel might be the best shape of your life. You feel good.
And you no longer have the back of a fucking 90-year-old man.
Yay!
Hey, Steve.
Now, actually, I'm going to leave it up to you, though. Sorry, Soul Patch.
Yep.
Do your scars heal?
You know what? I'm going to say that they do not.
Okay.
They are if I may, they don't look as rough. They don't look as jagged. They are just instead of divots in his skin, they are just scars.
Yeah, they're no longer sort of cavernous marks in you. They're just marks now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, the sort of cavernous twisted markings that are in your shell and across your face now just become scars. They're just markings, so you can still see them, but they're not deep and difficult.
Is it also okay if I change his eye color to blue from black?
Yeah.
Dope.
You have, though not glowing, you have pale blue eyes.
Welcome to the club, buddy.
Welcome. Do.
So yes, you are now a warlock because in the books they have a patron of called the Undying, where you can become a patron of a archlich, and here we are. So yes, after giving each of you the mark and passing out gifts as he goes along, he then turns to you, and in a fashion he almost smiles.
Now, my chosen children, our attendants will give you your first mission, which you will carry out within the next day. Go and be agents of Autometh.
He sort of waves his hand forward in a very grand gesture to dismiss.
Agents of Autometh.
Wonderful.
And there you are. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, as you are escorted out of the throne room, our happy-go-lucky random fucking guy makes his way up to you. Boy, look at it. It's Benjamin Hyde. He comes out with you and he goes, "That was amazing. Now, I have for you your first assignment." And with that, we bring this game to a close.
Oh shit, son!
Whoa! Hey,
Oh
hey,
shit,
Steve,
friend!
Yeah?
everyone else gets daddy's recognition, and all we get are toys.
Yeah.
You got
trying to get
marks.
us off.
I've
Yeah, we
got written.
marks. But like, he's just like, hey, all of you, I see you, I see you, I see you. You get my favorite thing. Here, you go.
I've,
Here, I bought you toys.
Have my testicle. Here.
I've got.
I get a marble.
You
Steve
got a
gets
marble.
sweat.
You got some sweat. Yeah, Marta's got a hammer, and Adam got a class change.
I've
Son
got
of a
written,
bitch!
I've got written in my notes like orb in Ophelia's possession, vial of Black King's essence in Lesher's possession, Maul of Doom in my possession. Gal gets a new stand, Master of Puppets.
I hope you all
Okay,
like that
but,
entangle
like,
spell. It ain't coming back.
But also that like master mace is just like all special secret stat stuff, and I'm just like, I got a marble.
Yeah, you don't know what that marble does.
Super marble.
You've pretty much got a Palantir.
True, but also at the same time, Steve, like you've seen the art. You're just like, I'm gonna take that. I'm like, no.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's fine. I didn't.
And I apologize for that. I did actually forget that was intended for Ophelia's character. I apologize.
Yeah.
That was my bad.
And I have no idea what to do with this thing. Do I like crack it on the floor?
ADM.
You have a Godzilla threshold. Congrats.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dr. Dungeon Master,
Yeah.
do we gain any levels, Dr. Dungeon Master?
As a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, because you have completed this first area, the sort of preliminaries of the Chronicles of Autometh, the tutorial, if you will, everybody in the party gains a level. So
Level 2, baby!
everybody at level 2 as we
So-
head to the surface on our first mission.
Once we get back, everyone will get to see where I picked my specialty in my wizard. Oh shit! No,
Should we roll because we're here for HP?
Oh,
let's
no.
do it later.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll
do it
out.
between games as I slowly
Cool
learn
stuff.
to do this more. I apologize again to everybody who is watching that it took us a lot. I'm sort of like I'm trying to find time to learn this as I'm going along, but being a full-time supervillain unfortunately does make it difficult for me to find time to do this. But we are making progress.
Holy shit.
And yeah, this is so much fucking fun. I'm basically the schedule that we're gonna be doing is basically any Friday we can. Any Friday that we can get this going is what we're gonna do, because with like me doing events and conventions and having a bunch of other stuff going on, it's gonna be really difficult for everybody to kind of keep together going forward on this. So I'm just gonna say we'll do it whatever we can, whatever Fridays are available going forward. Hopefully, I mean, like for example, if we're all available next Friday, we'll just do it then. If it's the Friday after that, then we'll do it then, and we'll just kind of keep rolling that forward
Nice.
going along.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
Hell yeah. So,
I'm good.
Great.
ladies and gentlemen, that is our game, and until next time, my bravest of citizens, I am Toronto's greatest supervillain and evil genius, Dr. Terwatt, your DM for this evening. We are joined around this table here by Steve the Seregios playing The Leshen.
I got Michael Jordan's secret stuff.
Fucking hell. And we got Articulate T playing Martis.
I am a sad 300-pound pile of beef.
He is a sad moo.
You're a tender pile.
Tender
And-
burger.
We've got the Ninja with the Soul Patch playing Gowl Embrace.
Hashtag Turtle Grandpa.
Hashtag Girdle Turtle Grandpa. And we have Ophelia played by Sass Elf.
Oh, sexy squid lady got her intimidate on, guys. She's hungry.
Are
Hell
y'all
yeah.
scare-roused yet?
Oh yeah.
Scare out. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen who are at home,
You are worthy.